It's always better when there's feelings involved. It's what they say is then what next, then what next, then what next, then what next, then what next. So why? Good evening. Hello, Miss B. Good evening. Hello, Tasha. Sasha Welch, Linda Gamble. Hello. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Please make sure to hit the like button on your way in. Hi, Stacy. Hello, Anita. Good evening, Elizabeth. And to the 39 that's watching, thank you guys so much for joining me. Feel free to drop down in the chat. Hello, Corvette Girl for Life. Good evening, Reasons and Why. Say, baby. Hello. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I just wanted to come on and chit chat a little bit. I've been missing in action and wanted to just discuss love and marriage, Huntsville, and everything else that's been going on. Good evening, Jesse. Thank you so much for joining me. And guys, I'm going to get a link together and pin that in case anyone wants to join the panel. So let me try to do that. Can you guys hear me okay? Hopefully it's not too low or too loud. I'm looking at my mic trying to see where I have it positioned here. All right, let me get the link together. But I wanted to chat with you guys. Okay, Reasons and Why, and Anita and Elizabeth. Thank you guys so much. Wanted to chat about last night's finale for those that watched and everything else that's going on. It's a lot going on, as always, with Love and Marriage Huntsville. What is your other channel name? I need to read these people. Oh, yeah, I just heard about, wait, what's going on with Stormy's mother? Now, I did hear something. Actually, my cousin texted me something about Stormy, but Stormy's mother as well. Hi, Cheryl. All right, guys, I dropped the link. Who put that? Tasha. Tasha, maybe you need to join me and let me know what's going on with that, or at least put it in the chat. Hello, pretty brown eyes. Good evening. Let me see here. Okay, so I don't want to do that. That's going to give me an echo. Give me 1 second. I wanted to. This is weird because my live. Okay, let me try this. All right. So let me pin. Okay, replaced. Tasha is backstage. Yay. Okay, guys, so the link is pinned at the top for anyone that wants to join. I see Tasha. I see pretty brown eyes. So let me just put up a quick banner. And yeah, I need the tea on that. But for whoever asked, maybe that was you, Tasha. Tasha, is this you?
Yeah.
Okay. And pretty brown eyes.
Hey.
Hey, thank you guys for joining me. So, Tasha, that was you that asked about my other channel. I haven't created it yet, but I'm gonna do it this week. And then Yeah, I think we probably gonna have to let loose. Let me add being real. Being real, is this you?
Yes, ma'am.
Hey, thank you so much
Hey.
for joining me. So, Tasha, what's tea? What's going on?
I don't know. My spirit a little vexed after all this stuff erupted today. But Stormy Mama is coming for Mel in the worst way.
Are you serious? Where?
I'm
Facebook?
very serious. Yes,
Oh my goodness. Okay.
yes. Um. So that's all I wanted to come up and say. I really can't say too much else because I'm a little disturbed because I really don't understand. What and why she doing what she doing.
I have a
Well,
little bit of information on
okay,
it.
because I
So,
was gonna ask, what did she say? Because
well,
I
basically, Mel did that post last night on Twitter saying that somebody recorded her. Hit
oh,
dogs always holler. And Stormy made a post on Twitter replying to that saying that she didn't record nobody, and basically, and she was like, she don't know what Melody talking about, and woo woo. She actually used Melody's name.
really?
So
But I
there's
don't
some
think
type
Mel. I
of.
don't. I don't think that's what Mel was referring to. I
Well,
think
I'm
Mel
just
was.
telling you where it
What
all
happened?
came from. That's
Uh-huh.
what it might not have been her that she was directing that to, but Mel didn't put a handle on it. So when she made the tweet, I guess whoever hit dogs was hollering, the fans kind of assumed it was Stormy
I
because
commented.
Stormy well, the fans assumed it was her,
Mm-hmm.
and they started going to her comments and kind of reading her. And
Mm-hmm.
so when that happened, she made a response saying that it wasn't her and she don't know what Melody talking about. So, I'm paraphrasing,
Yeah.
but somebody made like a messy post in the group or whatever, and I guess Stormy and her mom are in there. So her
Mm-hmm.
mom's going back and forth. And to sum it all up, basically, her mom is like saying that she's always been a good judge of character and she's always, told Stormy about her friends. And Stormy is kind of trying to stop her, but not stop her,
Mm-hmm.
because she's saying like, well, let's just hope in this case you're wrong. So maybe it's a big misunderstanding, and Stormy did what she always does, gets emotional and runs and made a post and put Mel name on it, and the millimeters eating her up.
Eating her up.
So
Mm.
so her mama is like saying that basically Melody is sick and like Melody is behind the fans attacking Stormy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, and she's going back and forth, and like the comments is like, hey, well, we brought you to the table. Melody brought her to the table, and her mama was like, well, shoot, Melody barely got a door, a table, or a chair.
Right.
Like basically doing the easy read that Stormy always do, calling somebody broke.
Right.
But you paid to be on her show,
That-
so
That's what I heard.
apparently it ain't too much allegedly. That's what the streets is saying. And this
Mm-hmm.
was when they were friends. Somebody spilled that tea and say Stormy paid her way on that show. So I don't know if it was physically paid or basically bought Mel's friendship or bought her way as Mel friend by making Mel her sponsor and paying, like paying Mel.
Right. Right.
But I think the breakdown with Stormy kind of started happening as soon as she actually got on the show. Stormy can't. Stormy has very thin skin.
Very thin skin. Yes,
So
it does.
anything that is said, she's gonna jump on it. And it seemed like the more Melody started elevating,
Mm-hmm.
here come the little sideways tweets
Right about her money and
that, yeah,
all
about
that.
money and about, oh well, you know my son Ben, I don't play about my son, and he been doing this, and I been was gonna give
Right.
him a business. And
Right. That's when Mel was
I
gonna.
like basically she was trying to make it seem like Mel just slapping her name on something, but what she doesn't realize is Mel had all of these products before. All Mel did was excuse me, rebranded.
Yeah, she rebranded.
She
Exactly.
rebranded, so
Embrace.
she had been going through the embrace since whatever that season was where she put Tisha out of her
Event.
event.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, you know
So
what? On Twitter, when she asked that question, and I made sure to go to Twitter right now on my phone. When she asked who recorded her, I was the first person that put Stormy. I just put, was it Stormy? I don't know why I thought Stormy, but people in the comments are saying that she was basically talking about a recording of an interview. And the interview
no,
that
well, she
showed her camera.
specifically said she was recorded, secretly recorded. That's different than screen recording her interview that's for all to see.
It
That's
low key
exact.
sounded like the one off of her confessional when she was talking about it initially, like when they asked about it and she was in the with the backdrop and she had the dress on and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
When she has to do her confessionals, it sounded like someone might have been recording while she was doing the confessional, and it might have been somebody, I don't know, probably production or something weird like that.
Well, I
Well,
guess it could be cleared up if she cleared up,
But
but
I thought it
Mel
was an
hasn't
interview as
really cleared
well.
it up. I
yeah.
think she
Yeah.
kind of let everybody come to their own conclusions, and eventually she'll clear it up. But before she could do anything, Stormy acted, and
Yeah.
then her mama went to hers. But to me, for what her mama was saying, Stormy and her mama is just like Wanda and Tisha.
And
Yes,
So
T.
stuff
ma'am.
was already must have been being said, and now that you looking for a reason to be mad because you done ran over there on the other side,
Right. Right.
Can I
now
say
it's all
something?
coming out.
Mm.
I honestly think that they put Stormy on that show because they want her and her husband to replace the role that Melody and Martell did in the comeback group, and they're going to try to what they call a revamp the show, but have Stormy be kind of like the lead because she does have the funding for it. But what Stormy and them don't understand is it was Melody's personality and that thing that she went through that made people gravitate towards her.
That's
And
right.
Stormy's on this like path of she's filling out the room to see where it's working. Like, you know what I mean? She's straddling the fence and she's straddling till she figure out which one's going to be working for her. My second thing about her is if you really that chick, you wouldn't have to go on somebody else's platform. You could do like Melody did and talk to Carlos yourself and build your own show.
There.
So
Exactly.
to me, you still not that chick like you think
Yeah.
you are because
Yeah.
you had to come on another woman's show and try to take over with a group of people that's hating on her and
Mm.
people that follow because they have, half of a brain that functions and don't see the situation for what it is.
Yeah.
Well,
Stormy has
she.
always like
Oh,
rubbed
sorry.
me the wrong way. Oh, sorry about that. I didn't mean to overspeak you, but Stormy always rubbed me the wrong way when Melody dropped that Sugar Mama thing talking about she about to drop a product for her baby. And then Stormy started coming out talking about how she already had something for her son, like how Pretty Brown Eyes said, "You're Pretty Brown Eyes, right?" I don't want to say your name wrong.
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah, just like how you said, like she was turning around and like she throws subs and she doesn't go direct with it. And she just, I don't know, just something about her. She's a person that is she wants to be the popular girl. She wants that power dynamic. She wants that
Mm.
notoriety that Melody has, and she has to figure out and understand. She's trying to find out the formula. How
Yeah.
am I going to do it, and how am I going to go about it? But I hate to say, it's the very thing that Melody went through and the struggles that she went through is the reason why people gravitate towards her and her being transparent with that. You pretending to go through something like her posting on her story about how much money she made this month and
Yeah.
then showing her packaging her stuff and her
Mhm.
doing I said, Lord, she gonna try to do what Melody does, but she don't grasp it's more than just Melody packaging things. It's
Yeah.
Melody coming to terms with her reality. And then you making sly remarks like my husband and my family, and you have a beautiful family and you have a beautiful home, but you sounding like a Letitia right now. And people don't F with Letitia
Was
like that.
well, see, to add on to what you're saying, you're absolutely right. I think what she's doing is piggybacking on what Melody's doing, and because she has more money and more overhead, she's trying to do it better. But the thing about it is, Stormy kicked off unlikable,
She
and
did.
And Melody, yes, Stormy got it from the mud, but everybody is actually seeing Melody get it from the mud. And it seemed like everybody loves you and are happy for you, and still you until the student starts surpassing the teacher. And as soon as
Mm-hmm.
Mel got that G Wagon, that's when she started them subs.
Mm,
Stormy was Team Mel until it seemed like Mel was coming up.
mm-hmm.
No matter how much money Stormy has, which is still, in my opinion, questionable, because rich people don't act like that. But anyway, that's just my opinion.
I agree
But
with you.
she will throw her subs and say everything that she truly, truly in her heart wants to say
Mm-hmm.
about Mel, but she won't tag Mel. And then
Right.
she'll hide behind, well, my husband calmed me down and I'ma just leave it alone. Well,
Mm-hmm.
you done
Mm-hmm.
called everybody broke, you done talked about everybody mama and churn and you know what I'm saying? And how
Everything.
you don't need this S and how you so made. You do this every other week. If you
Yeah.
Yeah.
just want to post your bank statement, post your bank statement. Then
Just do that.
you know,
Exactly. Let me
you're
let
not
me bring
impressing me.
let me bring up Simply Beautiful. Simply Beautiful, is this you?
Yes, it
That's
is.
my
Hello,
girl.
girl. Thank you
Hey.
so much for
What
joining
the hell
us.
is going on the Lord's
Girl,
Day?
look. Let me read this comment real quick. They said that Mel must have deleted the tweet, or maybe you're talking about Stormy, because Mel's tweet is still there, and I just want to read what she said exactly. And she
Mm-hmm.
retweeted me, so I'm looking at that now. So thank you, Mel. But her exact words were "chow." So who the hell recorded this convo? Hmm. Then she hashtag secret recordings. I already knew this though. Why I stay to myself. Don't trust people. So
Mm-hmm.
that was somebody recording her. I don't think it was about an interview.
Exactly. That's what I was saying. Maybe
Yeah,
it was Martell. I thought of Martell
That's what I
Martell
was thinking.
definitely.
because
I
he
was
done did
thinking
it
she's
before.
talking
He's
about
known
something
for
in the
doing that.
past.
Yeah, yeah.
When
That's
she
weird.
tweeted that, I think the commercial for the reunion, the clip for the reunion was
Mm-hmm.
played when she tweeted that.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about the part where the Destiny said something about Mel hacked Martell phone when they all know it was the other way around.
Right,
So
right.
that's why I believe she tweeted that.
Yeah. Could
I don't
be.
think it
Mm-hmm.
had I don't think it had nothing to do with the episode.
Mm.
I think it
Okay.
had all to do
Really?
with that reunion and what they were doing in the past where she said she had to keep changing her phone number.
Yeah.
But the thing
Because
about it,
Oh.
she also stated in her tweets too. She said right now today she changed her number. She had her mom to change her number, and production don't even have their number.
Mm-hmm.
So
correct.
no.
Yeah.
So I don't think it had nothing to do with this episode. I think it had to do with the stuff with Martell and Destiny.
Oh,
And for
that's crazy. I
y'all to
cleared that
come
up.
out this hard, or for Stormy to come out this hard, it seemed like she got somewhat of a guilty conscience
Stormy
She
because
been
said
wanting
it.
to do it. Stormy
because
been Stormy been dry sub and mail this whole past summer. I made 2, 3 videos on it. Then I
Yes, you
tried to
have.
set up, but she's been dry sub and mail, and the people, the viewers, us, are really we can see straight through it. But I do agree with this comment from Benny Jones saying Stormy wants fame with the money. Money don't buy class. She definitely wants the fame. Now is we can't deny that she has a little change, beautiful estate and all of that successful business, but she doesn't have the fame. And in my opinion, she's not going to get it because her attitude sucks completely. So go ahead. I'm sorry, whoever I cut off. I don't know if that was that you, Tasha. Was
You didn't cut me off though. But
okay.
Stormy did make a statement saying that, she built her brand from the ground up, but nobody ever knew who she was. So that's important to know that she is probably trying to get the fame because she got the money and nobody knows who she is.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm. Now who was that?
She's
That was
using
that
this.
Chris Brown ass. Where you go,
Yeah,
Period?
she left.
Yeah, she dropped down.
Uh,
Okay, maybe she'll be back. But
Yeah.
Simply Beautiful, what you think? You haven't said anything since you joined us.
um, I am confused at what the hell is going on. Like
Yeah.
I saw the tweets last night, but I didn't think that Stormy, because I was confused. Was it a conversation that they were having at the house, or was it an interview? I know Mel basically did like 3 interviews around that time, and she literally said the same thing in each interview.
Exactly.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
did.
Exactly.
Hmm. She did.
So
Exactly.
But it sounded
when
like they
she,
cleared it up though with chit chat when she reiterated with the tech with the tweet I'm sorry, I'm new to Twitter, but the tweet said, and then Miss Tasha, she said something about how it may have had something to do with the reunion. So you
Hmm.
might have took it all the way
Because
another
that's
way.
at the time. If you go back chit chat and look at that specific tweet,
Hmm.
it was during the time. It wasn't even during the actual episode. It was during the airing of the sneak peek of the reunion.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah, I'm
I didn't
scanning
think
At,
about
the
that.
comments, now to see um if Mel said anything on the actual thread itself. So I don't see where she said anything. Let me double check.
but you can tell that they're having conversations behind Mel's back. If
It
you read
sounds
the
Oh
mom's
yeah.
tweet, you can tell they're having conversations.
Oh, for sure.
yeah, because your mama the one that she be talking. That's who I chop it up with anytime I got a problem. So I know, you
and
know.
then
Oh,
But
there's
it's
if
Miss.
the fact that
Mel, if Mel,
she brought
I'm sorry.
Destiny into it.
Mm. Hey,
You guys
Hey y'all,
there?
I'm sorry, I fell
Everybody?
down.
Oh, okay.
Sorry y'all.
Well, I'm gonna have to. I think I know the Facebook group that Stormy's mother is in. I was out today, but
It's
I'm gonna go see it and see if I can find that.
it's the DC one.
Okay, because that's the one that
Yeah.
she was in
She in another
before.
one.
She's in
Well,
another one as well.
She's in what is
Straight
it?
no case.
Straight No Chaser, the
well,
one
the
that's
one
ran
where
by
these
Jay.
comments is the DC one.
Okay,
Okay.
it's the DC one. Okay, yeah,
oh,
I'm a member over there, so I'm gonna go check that out. Yeah, all
You
I
know they
heard.
don't need an excuse to hate Mel in that group.
Oh yeah.
But
Oh
her
my.
mom is like feeding to the crowd, and it's almost like Stormy is kind of trying to tell her maybe she's always been right about her friends, but she might think that she's wrong in this case.
Mhm.
I think Stormy jumped the gun, and it's just her guilty conscience
Mhm.
that made her hurry up and emotionally post all that crap. Now her mama done jumped in it to be baby Wanda,
Yeah.
mm,
and now you backpedaling and pee popping, but you done said everything you really really felt about the lady. So how can you really
Clean that up.
change? Yeah, how can you change it because that's how you truly felt.
Yeah. Yeah. And that's so sad because that just lets you know what's to come. I know they're already filming season 6, and it's enough of the hate when it comes to Mel anyway. And now
Yes.
it seems like this is gonna cause it to be more.
Well, she already didn't have nobody because everybody is really Martell's friends, and it's like the more
Yeah.
she elevates, the more that they kind of turn on her. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I think
And
that's
it looks
just gonna
like
be
the
that.
other crew are getting close. I mean, I'm sure you guys saw them dancing outside Black,
Yeah, I
Ugh.
saw that.
and I saw a clip.
Offbeat
I
and
don't know, was it
everything.
an ugly Christmas sweater party or something from the other
Hmm.
day? Okay,
Oh, I didn't see that.
I saw that, and yesterday too. I think they were at Black.
okay, they
Well,
were.
they're doing everything to
All
kind
of
of to
them.
spite them, but once they really, really get the inside on what they're dealing with those Scots, she's gonna regret the day she ever kind of bit the hand that not necessarily fed her, but bit the hand that kind of put her on.
Right.
But the comment I didn't like, and you'll see it. The mom was like, "Oh, they told her, well, Mel bought." your daughter to the table or what, something like that. And she was like, Mel barely got a door.
Who
He
said
ain't got
that?
no door.
Stormy?
Stormy
Her
mama,
mama.
Stormy's mother?
Wanda Jr.
Yes, ma'am.
Wow.
Yeah, she's like, Mel ain't bring nothing. She don't got nothing. She barely got a door.
Like
No table,
what?
no chair. Like
So she
basically
a
Wow.
her
nobody, but she at
do
premieres
nothing
to
for my
shows and
daughter.
stuff. Like
Wow.
make it make sense.
Yeah, that's, that is just so.
Oh, she's showing out. You know, I'll tell you where I saw the story. Hey girl, hey
Hmm.
she has the story on her page
All of the tea. Okay,
with
that's what
all of
my
the
cousin.
texts. She got it's all together. But it's
Okay.
right in that group, so you can pretty much get your own.
Yeah, because that's what
So
my cousin texts me. My cousin watches and all of that, and sometimes she's in the chat. And she told me it was Hey Girl, Hey. And I told her I hadn't
yeah.
seen it yet. I told her I had a live scheduled and I'll check it out. But that's a hot mess. And I don't
Hmm.
understand these mothers needing to jump into their grown daughters' affairs. You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
they bored and they all want attention for themselves. So
Yeah.
I think they dirty mouthpieces, so when they mama get in trouble, they won't get in trouble. It's like indirectly doing something for me. Like how Martell said last night, why should I be punished for something that someone else did when he know that he put the battery in that girl back?
Yeah.
Like people will send people your way. So initially they can say, well, I didn't technically say
Yeah.
that.
correct,
I technically didn't do that. So we
correct.
can still have a chance to stay, you know what I mean? It's like having their cake and eating it too. That's why
Yep.
they use their mamas as mouthpieces.
Well,
And like
Stand on
and
your
that's
Martell
ground though. If
why
you
brother,
feel that way.
the other Pookie Scott brother done came out because Basement Billy can't come out against Mel and her mom because he's been somewhat silenced.
Mm-hmm.
So here come Michael
Yeah.
with the
And they
same
said
mess.
that he deleted the post. I haven't been to his
Yeah.
But
Facebook
it's
page.
viral now. It's viral
Yeah,
now. So what is deleting it gonna do?
right. What good is that gonna do? I agree. I agree. It's crazy, and it's like, how much can Mel take? And I get her staying. I want her to stay, but I do want her to have like her set of people that she can film with, introduce to us, and Marcus, maybe her brother, and just other people besides the rest of the crew. But it's ridiculous. Just looking at the clip of the reunion, it was male, 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 male. I mean, damn, do they have anything to offer?
I just want her to stand up for herself. I understand taking the high road, but when you are the one that's always taking the high road, it's going to be what's expected of you every time.
Yep.
You have to start nipping things in the bud.
Yeah, that's
You
true.
can't be a pushover. You
That's
can't
true.
just let people say what they want to you. You
You
have
gotta
to
let
stand
loose.
up for yourself.
Yeah, you gotta let
This,
loose.
this, yeah, you can't. This playing nice. I get it. You don't want to ruin your brand, but
Hmm.
you must demand respect from people because they're only doing this because you won't stand up for yourself. The
Hmm.
millimeters can only do so much. You have to do it. Now, it's Scorpio this, Scorpio that. I need you to tap into that and act like one.
Yeah. Yeah, and it goes both ways. I definitely agree with you, and I get where you're coming from. That's why I said I could never be on a reality show because my temper just wouldn't be good. But I get Mel's point of view as well because as we see, she's in different circles. You know what I'm saying? She's hanging out with A-list celebrities and all of that. And I think that that's her goal eventually. So I think that she holds all of that in as to not damage her brand and what she's trying to do. But I totally get it, Simply Beautiful. I would let loose.
Look, I,
Yeah,
I'm a
she
disagree.
does.
I'm an Aquarius. I'm disrespectful. So if your mom got the balls to come after
It's
me,
on.
she will feel every bit of my worth.
It's
I
on.
Well,
I
Miss
agree.
Vanessa is in the comments too, saying that she told her daughter about her friends too, and she was always right as well. So they
Mm.
going. The mamas is going.
Who else in the
Oh
comments?
wait,
Miss
Grandma?
Miss
Vanessa,
Vanessa.
she made a comment too.
Oh,
Hmm.
did she? Okay. Okay.
Unless
I
I
have to
misheard wrong, I
agree.
could have. I heard. I think I heard it right.
Well, I'm
I have to agree
scrolling.
with.
Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry, but I apologize to y'all if I'm over speaking. I don't want to come off rude or nothing like that because I know y'all can tell me if I'm doing too much and I'll kind of reel it back.
No,
I
no.
apologize about that. Um, but I'm gonna agree with Miss Chit Chat when it comes to that because you have to carry yourself the way that you want to be, right? So when you know like you're gonna be an A-lister, you know you're gonna be around certain people, rubbing certain shoulders. You don't see Beyonce going down there talking to people when they make comments about her. You don't see, Morris Chestnut doing that. You don't see any of those people of that caliber entertaining those people. So she's just training herself now because I feel like honestly, this might just be a warm-up session for when she gets into bigger and larger spaces. Because
Mm-hmm.
there's gonna be some hate. There's always gonna be some hate. You're going to have an abundance of love, but there's always going to be an opposing side, and you have to learn how to structure yourself. And
Mm-hmm.
you only give life to things that you give attention to. And certain people are doing these things deliberately because they know that if you give them attention, you're shining a light brighter than it would have been if they just would have made the statement and it would have died out. So that's why they
Absolutely.
do what they do. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying?
Well,
Like with all
she's
of
not
them.
coming off her throne and throw tomatoes with them.
Yeah.
All right,
I
Mariah
think
Huff.
that every time Melody has a good positive thing, you see everybody's back watching. She's live tweeting. Now
Yeah.
other people are live tweeting and saying stuff. So it's like it doesn't matter what she does, they're gonna oppose her. And I don't think that her responding back is going to be worth her losing that potential deal that she can
That's
make
right.
money, because it seems like now they're coming at her because she said, well, I make 35. They talking about my TikToks, but I make up to 35,000 a month from my TikToks.
Mm-hmm.
So now here come everybody having something to say and they're attacking her. So it's like they want her attention.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
And
as
like
long as she ignores them,
and like you say, they're doing, and I'm sorry, they're doing it deliberately, because they know that that's the fuel that's going to feed the fire, and that's what they need. They want to be able to say that, oh, we're not just talking about her and she didn't say anything to us. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that she's doing the right thing only because of the path that I see that she's on. You know what I'm saying? She was in um the Hamptons and she's been in LA and all of that. She's on a totally different playing field than the rest of them. So let me add Maritha,
Yes,
and
yes, you got it
anonymous
right.
and
Yes.
anonymous. Is this you, anonymous?
Hello, darlings. How are
Oh,
you?
oh,
Hey, good
Hey.
evening,
I hear you, pretty brown
everybody.
eyes, sounding fabulous today.
Hi, Anonymous. Hi, Pretty
anonymous.
Brown Eyes. Hey, everybody. You know,
Lord.
it is so sad. It is so sad the hate that's coming towards this woman.
Mm-hmm.
But they don't understand why Mel is so at peace and she's not stepping off of her chariot to intermingle with the peasants.
There you go.
They
There.
don't understand that. And I was thinking, last night when I was on another channel, on the Silver's channel, and this morning I don't know why I was thinking about it. I guess because I watched the show on YouTube early this morning, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't understand whatever they're throwing at Mel, that it don't sway her.
Yeah.
She's not giving in to that, and they don't understand when you have peace with God, you get peace from God,
Mm-hmm.
and the peace that she have, it didn't come from them. It came from God, so they can't take it away from her.
Yeah.
So they don't understand that. And then with Stormy, I have always side-eyed Stormy.
Me
Stormy is a
too.
get along, is a go along, get along kind of person. And
Mm-hmm.
you would think she's a businesswoman. And if
Mm-hmm.
this is the way business women act, to get along, just go along with people to get along, and then your mama. Are we finna have another Miss Wanda?
It looks like it.
Are we gonna have another Wanda? I mean, it's just crazy. And then when I watched it, early this morning. And then Martha, how you get angry with someone by them not wanting you in their house?
Yeah.
Somebody,
Mm.
please explain that to me.
A
Yeah.
vampire can't bite you unless you invite him in, and she
That
Period.
Say it
wasn't
is
again.
inviting him into her home
Yeah.
to bring all that
exactly.
bad energy in there.
Exactly. And I know Mel have me personally. I know this woman got cameras. And when I seen that truck pull up, I would have ran outside in my driveway. He wouldn't even made it to the front door.
To the
Y'all
door.
narcissists don't respect boundaries, and Mel has clear boundaries, and
Yeah.
Martell is determined to break every rule and make her do what he want her to do.
Exactly. And you want to talk
Yeah.
in the cool, go get back in your
Yes.
truck. I stand in the heat to listen at what you about the
Exactly.
kids going to camp. Look, I already got that covered. Cause you ain't got 5 pennies to roll together to make a whole nickel to
You
help pay for these kids to go to summer camp. So who you trying to play? Cause you're
and
But
not
you know
talking
Marie,
about
that's
me.
that's
but
always
Marisa,
gonna be the guys that he come under, the kids. Something about the kids, you know. I got a video
Hmm.
that I'm gonna be dropping about that because OWN released an extended clip of that scene earlier today. Not sure if you guys saw it on YouTube, but my thing is, how can he not know that him running back, running his mouth, he didn't have to use Mel's name. He's around cameramen, production, and all of that. But he knew he had to find a way to get in good with Cold Flaw. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She saw, like we saw when Tank posted that video, went live or
hmm
whatever. She saw all of that. And we
yep.
saw her up at 5 a.m., can't sleep. And, so he did it purposely. He did it purposely.
And my thing is this man, I mean, it was just, it was, it was comical, but not in a ha ha kind of way. It was comical in a scary kind of way because this man, don't play with me, don't play with me. I could come in your house. If you come to my house, you could come in my house. And I'm saying to myself, like, really, is that what they doing now?
But
Yeah.
see, but here's the thing, Mel. I know she regrets it now, but she opened the door for
Yeah,
him.
He did.
yeah,
She gave him too much credit,
He did.
and
yeah.
if y'all watch that scene over, Martell came up that line. He came on the phone. He probably, I didn't hear that conversation, but I can only assume that he
He said it
told
was
her
for
that
the
he needed
kids,
stuff for the
Yeah.
girls.
but he
Mhm.
And so
brought the
when he
Inez
get
wine
there,
in a bag. It was
yeah.
wanting her to sign something regarding its distribution. That's what that
But you
was.
know what? What
Yeah, but
really, really,
and that's why he
Wait
wanted
a
to
minute.
sit
Wait,
there and
wait, wait,
smooth
wait,
her.
wait. Wait a minute. That what you said that too quick, Anonymous. You
Well,
said that
if you look at the episode on,
he had paperwork. I saw that. So you
yeah,
said,
And a bottle of wine.
Oprah.com, if you look at it, he had a bottle of wine in a brown case.
uh-huh.
And he had paperwork that looks like he was trying to get her to sign some type of distribution or to be a sponsor for him.
Oh my goodness.
and
I
you
He
think
know,
he wanted her to
and
he
you
be an
know,
let me say
ambassador
this,
for
guys.
him.
He when Melody came with the bag, he lied to her on the phone saying he wanted something about the kids. And if you hear the episode in his confessional, he said it was for the kids. It
Always.
wasn't about that. He was trying to push himself in the door to try to sweet talk her to basically do something for his Inez wine.
Mm.
hmm
And
because
Melody
you,
saw it
mm,
and told him, I don't let you in. And if he
Yeah.
wanted to say it, he needed to just do it outside. He didn't want to do that because he knew he lied in his confessional saying he was trying to meet with her for the stuff.
Oh, it's always for the kids when it
it's
comes to
always, but he was upset. He didn't show it. It was his what his celebration for his wine or whatever, his re lunch for his
yeah,
wine.
yeah.
But everybody there was talking about Melody. Where
Every
is they know dang gone well that woman was not coming to that whatever that was.
exactly.
They
Ex-
and then he's saying that him and Sheree talked about it and said it would be best that she didn't come. He didn't want Sheree to come because he really wanted. He knew if Mel had came to that party, that wine would have been flying off of
it
wherever it
He was
is.
holding out for hope for Mel to show up.
Yes,
has
yes,
to. I
yes,
agree. Absolutely.
yes.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
that
Yeah,
was
but
a
he
big.
did the same thing with the book deal. Remember with Melnika?
Yep.
He thought Melody was coming, and it's
Mm-hmm.
also for this. So his problem is he really doesn't want Melody. He wants the millimeters, her consumers.
Yeah.
He wants her fans the
Yeah.
Yeah.
same way
They all
Destiny
do.
wanted her fans as well to
Mm-hmm.
But
feel
Hmm.
sorry for her.
Mm-hmm.
you notice, it's obvious that he want her fans because anytime he gets mad with Mel, he always say the same thing. If you guys knew the real Mel, you wouldn't follow her or
Yeah.
support her
Yeah.
anymore.
Yep.
He don't want
Always.
nobody to support her if she
Mm-hmm.
won't support him.
That's
Mm-hmm.
the
I
truth.
don't need to support a man who has a Vienna sausage and a green rash fungus. I'm sorry.
Mm-mm.
Not
No, we
me.
Um,
pass.
Anonymous.
We'll
Allegedly.
pass on that.
Anonymous, you starting already.
Let me
can
get my
I ask y'all
banner
a
ready for her.
question?
You know she put me to work, child. Let me get it. Okay,
Put
anonymous.
your banner up.
Uh,
Put it up, baby. Put it
You,
up.
you know I
in
stay
regard
ready.
in regards to that whole situation that happened at her house, right? A lot of people I've been seeing in the comments talking about the whole COVID situation and how he should have informed her, right? I get that. I understand that. And let's say he did slip up. But what does her being called by coleslaw name have anything to do with COVID?
He
It
Nothing.
It
didn't
don't
has
have
have nothing to
nothing.
do
nothing to
You
with
do
see
with
it.
what I'm
COVID.
saying? So at the
But,
end of the day, the way
mhm.
you trying to flip the situation, he's still being messy in the
Look.
conversation that was had. That was a back burner situation. And I looked
And
at it, maybe I'm a little crazy.
no,
But
you're not.
remember at the reunion when they kept on talking about him putting the children in danger with COVID?
Mm-hmm.
He looked at that as an opportunity to also throw her under the bus and said, "It's been 3 times I've had to
Yeah.
quarantine because
Yeah.
of you taking the children and going to Atlanta. You go to Atlanta too, though, to go see your fake girlfriend. So
Right.
what's up? Like, what you talking
Right.
about?"
Yeah, he
He
They
something
lied.
wrong with him.
they high five each other on the way out of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Vanessa
Thank you.
Vanessa cleared that up on Mind of Lilith blog. Neither the kids nor the four children that Melody has with Martell or Hotel
Had
or
C19.
Hotel had the C19.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
I think Knox had it because he had a
Mm-hmm.
respiratory situation that he was dealing with.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens is, if you notice with the we call her Wolverine. That's what you call her, pretty brown eyes. James
Yeah.
Brown, Wolverine, look
Teen
alike
Wolf,
pheasant.
James Brown.
Hmm.
Take your
She
pick.
she was being triangulated with Hotel because I think he
For
was staying
sure.
with her to try to triangulate and gaslight Melody because she didn't give him any nookie on the Destin, Florida trip.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
Well, look, it's funny that being real said that as far as him calling her, and like I said, I got a video it'll drop after this live, but I said the same exact thing because had it just been about C19, that's all she would have been able to come back and say publicly. She
Right, but
specifically
Coleslaw
said,
made like
"Go ahead."
like they was in the heat of passion and he said her name. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm sorry,
Oh no,
QT.
no,
Sorry.
you're fine. So
But see, that's what she implied, and that's why Mel was on Twitter last night saying that he didn't say her name like in passion, like you know what I
right,
mean. But that's
Yeah,
how Coleslaw
she
made it
also
seem like.
said, yeah, and she also said she believes he did it purposely, and so do I.
correct. But
And
he
I
does
do
it all the
too.
time. She knows it.
Oh yeah, oh
He
yeah.
Yeah,
wanted that
Melody.
supply. He wanted exactly what he got from her,
Uh
a
huh.
reaction. He wanted to fight with her because they hadn't fought in 2 years, right?
Yeah.
Well, he
Yep.
He,
hasn't had relations with her over 3 years. So why is he still fantasizing over Melody?
It's
Yeah.
that energy. Some people feed
narcissists
off of
never let
people's
you go. Now,
energy.
now, anonymous,
Mhm.
you know that.
Well, we
Yeah, they
know
get
he's
off an
still looking at
energy.
her home screen videos that they have. Yes, he is.
He
Don't
has
he
all of
still
the
have Christmas
pictures and
videos?
everything.
Like on his Instagram, don't he still have like an old Christmas video and like when he's teaching the babies how to ride a bike and stuff?
He does.
Like he
Yes.
still has
You
stuff and
know.
melody on his page.
Mhm.
It's
He
weird.
does.
Yep. And Melody, I wish she would have taken that phone when they were in Destin and threw it in the ocean because that probably had all the videos. She would have
Yeah,
played.
Really?
I'm sorry, and I forgot who said it, but I think that that trip really opened the door to everything we're
Mhm.
seeing now. And because I remember saying like it had only been because Mel said it. I think she said, "Well, for the past 2 weeks, you've been on the straight path or whatever. And I was like, 2 weeks?
Yeah, it was
That's
too
all.
soon.
But I think it was because of that show. This is my thing. I know everybody says they wish Melody wouldn't have done it, but I think she was in a rock and a hard place. The show was probably Carlos Queen asked her to help with the co-parent.
Mm.
And I think, in my opinion, Carlos and Hotel have been aiming to try to make him look better. Like they
Yeah.
staged the whole apology, the dinner, all
Yeah.
that stuff. But he didn't think Melody would figure out that he was the enemy and tell him to his face at the dinner table.
Yeah.
So they thought that Inez Juan at the end, she was going to come and
Mm-hmm.
help him, but she
Blow
wasn't going
that
to
up.
do it.
Right.
Exactly. Because Hotel didn't play it right. All he had to do was keep his twin
Cool.
He,
in
Yep.
drag quiet.
Yep.
He
I
didn't
agree.
do it.
well, you heard him
I
say
feel
he
like it would have
felt.
been a beautiful thing. We do know the history of them as far as the divorce and everything that happened. But had Martell just successfully co-parented with Mel, I think we would have seen a big shift in the
Yes.
show and everything else. But he can't do that because he definitely still wants her.
Yeah,
But
he
when
wants
those
Mhm.
to
cameras
conquer
are
her.
rolling, yeah, when those cameras are rolling, like last night, he's gonna try to act like she's making it up. Everything she said, he said, as far as soulmate and everything else, he said it. He
But
said
you notice when he always come at Mel, the first thing he'll say, I don't want you and you don't want me. He always put himself first.
Mhm.
Line.
I peeped that because he's always saying, well, I don't want you and you don't. Well, show me you don't want me.
exactly.
Show me
Because
you that you do not want me.
yeah,
And then my
Yeah.
thing with the at the wine tasting, the re lunch or whatever that was, my thing with the whole group is Tisha.
mm-hmm. Oh
Why
yeah,
are you wondering? Why are you talking about this lady? Why
yes.
are you constantly you at a wine lunch? You supposed to be having fun, looking at the overview, the overlook, or wherever. It looked like it was in a beautiful location.
It
You
looked like
supposed to
they
be
were on
soaking.
Mel's balcony.
Yes, it looked like you should have been enjoying the ambiance. But
Yeah,
what you do, what everybody else do, talk about Melody.
yeah.
And then when Kimmy was talking to Destiny and all them and telling them about her situation, and when Destiny said, "Well, I'm here for you," and then I looked at Kimmy. Kimmy was trying to play it off like she was saying in her mind, "Bitch, I don't need you to help me with nothing."
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's the look she gave her, if you ask me.
That's
Like,
the
You
look
talking
that
about
she
Stormy
gave
or who?
Destiny.
Talking about
No,
Stormy or Destiny?
that's
when Kimmy was telling Destiny, well, I'm here for you, and Kimmy, she was being Kimmy, being polite in a nice, nasty way. She was saying, well, I really don't know how to ask people for help. What she was really saying, bitch, you can't help yourself. How you gonna help me?
Did you see the
exactly.
look that Margarine and Dusty Destiny gave each other at that thing?
Maurice
Yep.
Oh,
at the
when Destiny
Mhm.
threatened to spill Mel's secret and Mel looked at her
Well, that
face.
one. And then also when Kimmy was revealing her
oh
cancer
at the one. I
situation.
mean, I caught it on the reunion. I didn't see on the
Yeah.
real
Y'all
one.
need to
I
look
go back
at
and
that
watch.
way Maurice looked at Destiny.
Now, what's up with that? With him telling her, "Don't say anything," though, as far as the reunion.
Yeah.
Because you
Honey,
know
I think
what?
he's the mastermind behind this.
Um,
Mm,
I think
It's not that. I think they done had because if you remember how Kimmy and Destiny used to act,
go
and
at
you
it.
remember that time when it was said something about when Kimmy said, "Well, you could ask the person about a three-way." I believe they done had them a little three-way before.
Oh, you think so?
Yeah,
Yes,
give
ma'am.
Marika allegedly too. Put it on the banner.
Allegedly,
Okay,
allegedly. I
I
honestly
believe.
believe them. I believe them three done did a menage a trois or whatever. I
I
really
think
do.
Uh,
What you
I
say,
think
Yeah.
the
Cece?
shots fed Destiny information about Mel that Mark gave them. And I believe they know that she got the info from Mark, but they don't want to put it out there because they don't know what Mel has in her chamber.
mm-hmm.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
Well,
And
Well,
I
Mel told
I'm
him,
hoping
whatever
Mel
you got to
brought it.
say, say it.
Yeah, I'm
Well, she
hoping she
said that
drops it
ever
at the
so.
reunion.
She said that ever so calmly. Say it. And
That's
then
Yeah,
it.
Maurice said, "Don't
like
do it,
I'm not
Destiny." And
worried.
she said, "No, no, no, no. Let her do it."
Yeah.
Yeah.
See,
Because
you
see,
I'm
she don't
saying
know
this.
what LeBaric done told Mel.
mm-hmm.
Well,
Yeah,
He
did y'all
may have not
see?
somebody
told her
mentioned
nothing,
Did
but
y'all
somebody
she
see
don't
that
know
mentioned
that.
Derek last night.
LeBeric's mom was actually one of Mel's professors at Alabama A&M?
Yep.
Yeah. When
That's why I
Mel
said
I
said
she
saw
on
that.
knows.
Twitter, she said on Twitter last night, somebody was like, "You need to go at Destiny as far as LeBerry, since she's always
Mm-mm.
talking about Martell." And Mel said, "I just so happen to have their barbecue today. His mom, she put his sweet mother made it. So I took that sweet because Destiny tried to act like the mama was a mother-in-law from hell.
Correct.
Yeah, it's a whole hot mess.
But
Yeah.
I think it makes sense when Mel said, I had to reach back and apologize to two people. I'm now starting to believe it was LeBeric and his mother.
Mm,
Yep.
Mm.
I
Yep.
agree with that.
oh, that
Yep.
I
makes
think
sense.
I
Simply
think
beautiful.
I think LeBaric in his court case was able to prove his stuff, and that was after the court case was done. He was able to kind of share what
Hmm.
happened to Melody.
Yeah.
Dude, she done showed herself. Destiny has like really showed that she's never been a friend. I fell out with people I used to be friends with, right? And
Hmm.
I feel like I have no reason to speak on you or things that you and I have
Right.
spoken about because
Mhm.
there's no reason. I don't care. Even if I've had people talk sugar honey iced tea about me, and I'm still not going to reveal any information they told me in confidence because
Yeah.
that's not how I move. But how
Right.
she moved showed that she had every intention to use whatever Melody would have broken down and told
Yep.
her in a moment of weakness and try to use it as to break her down. She's obsessed with Melody.
She
And
is.
like, I know I keep saying this. I'm telling you, Martell trying to walk over her threshold. Everybody from the South, anybody, just Black people households in general. I don't think it's just a North, South, East, West. We all just have this thing where we are about our home. Whatever you let into your home can bring a certain energy that
Yeah.
might be hard for you to wash out. You know what I mean? Ain't going to be enough sage or anything to walk, to get out of it. Some people said mics, and that's a really smart idea. But I really think that man, I don't know if he might have had somebody pray over that wine. You don't know what he might have did. We
No,
gotta
he's a
remember they from
demon.
Alabama. You know what I
He's a
mean? You
Luciferian demon. She wasn't going to
them
let him.
people
He's
still
her
play
enemy.
with that. They got something wrong with them. It's spiritually like something because I'm not obsessing over somebody that I why are you still going at Melody Destiny when you and her weren't friends for that long?
Right.
She's the
Why
pheasant.
you I call her Latifah.
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 Latifa. Get it right.
Latifah.
Latifa.
I'm sorry about that, Latifah. The only reason why she got so much animosity towards Melody is because she looks up to Melody, and low key she want to be Melody friend, and she mad because she see Melody in spaces and the type of Melody. Oh, I'm sorry. Am I supposed to?
No, you keep talking.
Oh,
Hmm.
the type of
Oh no, I'm sorry. You could have kept talking, but since you paused, give me one
Okay.
second. Pretty girl 96.
Hey,
Hello, hello.
hey,
How are you?
Hi.
good.
Okay, I just wanted to let her up, but yeah, you could have continued being real.
They just wish they could go to those spaces and like how Melody going. Like I know Latifah and them like. Oh, to kind of can we talk about how everybody trying to do the same thing Melody done from the beginning? Now they trying to be real
The
about
blueprint.
themselves and
Uh-huh.
they
She the
trying
blue.
to be open. They
She the
trying to be
blueprint.
real. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
she is
Honey,
the blueprint, baby. She 100% the
Yes,
blueprint.
she
You right
is.
about
well, she
that.
helped them.
Mm-hmm.
She gave Latifa the blueprint in season 1 of Love and Marriage
Yes,
Huntsville
she
to
did.
get her that deal.
They
And her
left.
husband, pretty, what is it, legs, hips, and breast,
And
messed it
body,
up
yada
because he
yada.
said, I can't have Latifa out in my circles knowing what I do with my whores and tricks,
Hmm.
allegedly.
Hmm.
So now she's morphed into Wanda 2.0. Did you see her makeup, how bad it looked at both the wine event and the reunion?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see how bad she looked?
Well, we
Without it.
know that too. Now,
Yeah.
Kiki looked like she had life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
look at Kiki side eyed too. I really do.
Yeah, but she
Because
brought
when
it
Mm-hmm.
though with telling about the pictures in his phone. It was
And
bad.
that's what I think. So you agree with that, Anonymous? That's what
Yeah,
I think.
I think she came just to say, look, they had problems in their marriage. And this is my thing with Lafifa. She wants everybody to think that she is in a upstanding marriage. She
Mhm.
knows he's cheating.
Convince herself.
She knows she's cheating, like her mother.
You think?
Um, yeah, she's messing around too. They
Yeah. Now look, somebody said, whose chat was I in? Aunt Ann, I don't know, maybe one day this week, but somebody was in the comments saying Chit Chat said that Tisha was cheating. I forgot who said it. I'm like, I didn't say that because I don't know, but I
that
wouldn't be
was
shocked.
Maurice, not Maurice Marceau or legs, hips, and breasts. He said that she cheated on an
Oh,
episode. But what I'm saying is, I wouldn't be shocked that they both probably mess around, but they're not divorcing each other.
yeah.
And I think the whole problem is with Latifah is because of how her mother was raised in Bessemer Projects, she
Hmm.
wants to stay attached to this narcissist, which is legs, hips, and breasts.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
she's mad at Melody because the truth of her relationship being as phony as it is will be revealed.
Hmm.
You
Well,
know
And
who
that's why
gonna do
she's
it too,
attacking her
huh?
with venom.
yeah,
You
what
know
Tisha
who gonna do it,
basically
Anonymous?
came
It's
out
gonna
and
be her mama. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
oh no, I'm sorry. I was just gonna say Tisha came out and basically admitted that she didn't want to basically turn out like Wanda and her aunts. So I think
correct.
that's when she was on DJ Richie Sky, if I'm not mistaken.
Hmm.
Yeah, so she said that. But go ahead, being real. I'm sorry.
No, I'm so sorry. I'm like seriously, I'm not trying to overtalk y'all at all. I'm just gonna like wait a few seconds. Um,
You're fine.
Wanda is gonna put them under the bus because when you watch that live, Wanda told a lot of stuff that didn't need to be told on them
Hmm.
and revealed a little bit, and that's when he came the next day talking about he gonna be more transparent. We know that he supposedly went to Africa for 3 days because of Wanda. We know a lot of things because of Wanda that we initially didn't know before. And she probably gonna be the end up putting the foot in their mouth from the way she's trying to run her mouth, trying to make everybody else look bad, you know?
Yeah,
Yeah.
well, she definitely did on her live the other night. The part that I saw, she said that he lies for a storyline and he loves the attention, which we all have been saying. But yeah, she kind of threw Marceau under the bus. And I don't know. I don't see Wanda saying too much, only if Tisha leaves him. If Tisha decides to divorce him, Wanda's gonna spill all the tea, you know.
But
I want
answer
to.
me
I want to.
this.
Oh, you can go
Answer
ahead.
me this. Who go how okay. My mom went to Casablanca. She went to Saudi Arabia. Um she went to Mecca. And it takes you what like 24 hours. Who goes to Africa for 3 days?
Africa, Ohio. Remember, Maritha, there is an Africa, Ohio
Now
in the
look, I
United
didn't know
States.
it was only for 3 days. The travel time is damn near 3 days.
That's what I'm saying. Who goes to Africa for 3 freaking days?
Yeah.
He went to Africa, Ohio.
That's because Wanda was lying. That's all that was.
So
He
Wanda's
ain't
the
go to
one that
no
said he
Africa.
only went for 3 days.
For three
Yeah, I thought he
days.
went 2 weeks.
I
Okay,
Like
so
thought
a
he
it
went
was
month.
for
longer.
36 days. Yeah.
It was longer than that.
Yeah, he went for like 36 days or something like that. But who goes to Africa? That is the ultimate trip for
Yes.
your family, for
Yep.
if it's just a you and me trip.
Mhm.
Did
Who
y'all see?
does that?
It's
Did
just
y'all see the way they looked at Martell when he mentioned that Africa trip?
yes,
Them
yes,
heads whipped around like whiplash
yes,
But they put
yes,
it on the show. Why they mad?
yeah.
because Martell is supposed to be Team Scott.
Hmm. Hmm.
Wow.
Real
I
But he
quick,
want to talk
obviously
guys.
about
was on the
Destiny.
iced up.
Real quick, guys. Okay, guys, it is 389 people watching. If you can please, please, please hit the like button for me, I would appreciate it. And I'm sorry, was that you, Anonymous, that was talking?
No, I didn't know if you wanted to get the other people that came up to speak.
Oh, Gloria, thank you for joining us. And Pretty Girl, you were here for first. What's your thoughts on what we're discussing?
I want to talk about Destiny because I think Destiny is like dumb or something because she don't realize that her and Mel was once friends. So when she come out and say oh, I know where your body's buried. Mel would know where your body's buried also. So
That's
what did you saying with that? She know what your stuff is too.
yeah, that's true. I
Yeah.
totally agree.
I don't think people think that far ahead.
Well, we know Destiny and Hotel don't think that far ahead. I don't even think they think beside the first sentence that they say out their mouth, in my opinion.
I swear.
Allegedly.
I agree. What you think, Gloria, about what we're talking about?
Hello, everyone. Happy Sunday.
Hello.
Hey,
Happy.
Hey.
I said, look at them out here trying to have a party without me, even though I took a nap.
It was supposed to
Was
happen
it
last
good?
night.
When I saw Destiny, when I saw Maurice say to Destiny, don't say it, I knew right then. I said, oh my God, he is the mastermind.
Mm.
Maurice is
Saying it.
terrible.
Yeah.
And why he always got to throw the somebody gonna get a lawsuit?
cause he know it's true.
Uh-huh. Talking about
Oh
that
Yeah,
my,
credit one stuff.
yeah,
yes,
that credit. Yeah, talk about the sex parties at Credit One.
Met me with
yes.
minors, allegedly.
Oh
What?
my God.
That's why I think it closed down.
So do
Hold
y'all
up,
think
hold
that
up.
it was Tisha?
No, I'm sorry, Miss Gloria. I was just saying, hold up. Let's just do me.
Oh,
Yeah.
do y'all think it was Tisha that ran off the stage crying instead of Martell?
I think
It
both of
was
them ran
both
off.
of them.
Yeah, I think it
I'm
was
so
both.
glad. I was so glad she was crying. I'm gonna let them have it. I'm like, all that mouth you got, Tisha? No,
Yeah.
I want you to sit right here in it.
Yep.
Well, I got to
Yep.
ask you this. Why is it on the Oprah.com TV network, they only have the finale that was done, but the Saw with Disrespect episode before that is not appearing on the show?
That's what a lot of people have been saying. Now, somebody said that it's listed in the directory under season 3 somehow, but
I
that's
looked there, I
odd.
didn't see it.
You look there? Okay. Yeah, that's very odd to me. I need to check. I need to check and see if I can find it on there.
Yeah,
But
because is he trying to protect legs, hips, and breasts and Latifah?
that's what it seems like because why isn't it in order where it should be? That's weird.
Mm.
I
Or
think
them,
Carlos is walking on thin ice with the network because who
Mhm.
goes on
I do
reality?
too.
Reality is what it is. How do
Right.
you go on a reality show and tell somebody, well, we ain't gonna talk about my business, all we gonna talk about is business.
Mhm.
But what business have you talked about?
Exactly.
All we seen is blank, and every time we see that, you're either sitting down and drinking or whatever you're doing. So how do you go on a reality show and don't show your reality?
Yeah.
So
Well,
and I think Carlos is in hot doo doo with
Mhm.
the network because of the Scots. He wanted to
mhm.
put
Mhm.
them at the forefront, and he see that they just don't have what it takes. And then the advertising, we could boycott, but once you start hitting them pockets with the advertisements,
There you go.
Absolutely.
There you go.
Mhm.
when you
Mhm.
start hitting their pockets, and when they looking at the ratings and it's going lower and lower and lower, somebody
Mhm.
gonna start pulling their sponsorship.
Mhm.
Mhm.
For
Mhm.
sure. For
I
And
sure.
heard
so
someone saying about Stormy's mom. Stormy and her mom both are irrelevant at this point, and I think that Mel, sees that. She doesn't have the popularity that Mel has. She has the money, but she doesn't have the popularity,
Yep.
and that's what Stormy's trying to get. But Stormy's irrelevant. Who cares about her and her mama?
Mm.
But I just think that was so like out of left field with her mom.
Mm-mm-mm.
But y'all
What?
know that Coleslaw said that Stormy paid to be on that show. Her and Mel are not friends. I think that's the part everybody's getting confused. They were never friends.
Yeah.
They barely know each other. Period.
But She was at that event at Destiny, and then Mel did that party for her reveal for her music video there. She did her music video there. They've hung out a couple of
Business.
times, so it gave the illusion. I think that's where that might have came from. Is like people saw her in the background, and every time she was in the background, she was kind of like closely linked to being with Melody at that event. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But it's
But
business. It's only business. That's
Yeah.
all
I
it
got
is.
you.
It's
It's
Yeah.
business.
it's it's similar to how they introduce people on like Real Housewives of Atlanta and all that.
Oh,
Like
Right.
okay.
with Portia and Simon's ex-wife Fallon or whatever, they introduced Fallon as Portia's friend, but in reality, they barely knew each other. It was
What?
still wrong for Portia to get with Simon, but yeah, so
Mm-hmm.
they really weren't friends at all. But they have to
Right.
introduce these people to the show like they have a connection to someone else.
Someone.
Mhm,
Oh, okay.
mhm, mhm.
But
But
I
I
Coach
can
Rod
just
see.
did say that Stormer was talking about Melody.
What?
You don't remember that IG that Ariana did? She said that Stormer was talking about Melody at one person time.
she probably
Mm,
was. I mean, like I say,
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a problem with that. But see, she's an employer. As a
Yeah.
business owner in the community, you got to walk very carefully
Mhm.
Right.
because you're dealing with consumers. And I just think that's the part that Stormy does and her mother
Yeah.
don't
Don't
Does
get
not
it.
understand.
understand. Right. I
Mhm.
agree.
you know who strong?
I think Stormy thinks because she's in all these different stores, but she don't just like Anonymous said, consumers could pass that because there's so many
Walk
products
right
that
on
do the
by.
same thing that
Mhm.
her product do, and they could walk right on by it, and the next thing you know, it'll be in Ross and in
On the
the
corner.
bargain bin.
Yep. So
Facts.
true.
So as a businesswoman, you want to associate yourself with someone who's going somewhere,
Yeah.
not
Did you
so
just
with
say Ross?
somebody you think has potential to go somewhere. When they show you, they
Mhm.
still stuck on first base. They can't even
Mm-hmm.
get outside of the line.
Yeah.
They've been
Facts.
on that show for what, 4 5 years. When this show
Oh yeah.
ends, what would you have to show for it?
Nothing.
Right. Did you just throw her in Ross?
Sure did.
She
And the
about to be thrown in Ross. Yes.
in the
Oh, she
clearance
see in the
too.
future.
Yes,
She see in
Ross,
the future.
TJ Maxx, Burlington Coat Factory.
Ah, not Burlington. Not the Burlington.
What do y'all think Marceau is trying to prove? Do y'all think he's going live more because Mel threw out the 35K a month, or
Yes,
what?
Yes,
ma'am.
What did he call himself doing? I guess
yes,
That
he
that
right
just
there
said
is
His
yes.
wife
$35,000.
Yeah.
trying
I
to
guess he
Yes.
said
rehabilitate his
Tisha ain't got.
wife.
I say I guess he say Tisha ain't got enough sense to get on live and be productive. So let me do this too.
Yeah. And he's also talking about starting a YouTube channel. And the reason why
Mm-hmm.
that is because it was on a post about Deion Sanders leaving Jackson State. And Deion Sanders' salary at Jackson State was $300,000, and Colorado is paying him $5 million. Well, Funky
Mhm.
Dineva jumped down in the comments. This was on somebody else's page. And he said, and Marcel likes Funky Dineva. Funky Dineva said, "Well, that's what I make on YouTube per year, $300,000." So I know that also made Marcel go, So as soon as I heard him say that he's thinking about starting YouTube, I think that's the reason why.
Is he gonna
You
dress in a wig and a
That
dress
and lipstick.
with breast and the hips and
He got
bra?
all that. He got the body
YouTube would
parts,
eat
so
him
all he
alive.
needs is the wig.
Yes, right.
But he's
But
so
see what they
tarnished
don't
though.
understand about Deion Sanders. Deion Sanders is from my hometown.
Mm.
Hmm.
Me
Yeah.
and I knew his dad, and I know his mom. It's not about the money with Deion
Yeah.
because it wasn't about the money. But then when he decided to go to where he's at now, something happened in Jackson to make Dion leave. He
Hmm.
didn't
Mm,
leave, just up and leave. There was something that transpired. And he
Yeah.
always told him he was going to entertain anything that came his way, he was going to entertain it.
Yeah. Well, what happened was, and it's already been put out there, he knew that the sales would increase as far as the attendance for the football games. So anything made over $30,000, Dion was supposed to get a kickback off of that. Well, they messed with the numbers to make it appear to look like it was only 28,000 people in attendance. They did that on several games, but you can visually see the stand, so he knew it was more than that. Then there was a lot of break-ins. One break-in was in his office in the, inside of the school or whatever. Well, some of his jewelry came up missing, phones, everything, and he felt like it was an inside job. So,
What the hell?
I loved him being there just for the simple fact, but I had to remove my feelings about it because people made a good point. Look, if you're working
Mhm.
a job right now and if they offer you an increase, a pay raise for that amount, you're not going to take it just because you love what you're doing. But I just felt like he had such an impact on the kids. He was a father figure to a lot of the boys on the team that was raised by single moms, but that's too much for him to bear. And he really did what he was supposed to do as far as being the coach of that school. So, you know, but Marcel was very upset about it. He made a post about it. He was in comments. He was so upset at Deion Sanders for his decision to leave. And then
But
he,
on
Anyway,
the
with the
real,
lawsuit.
but on the real, Dion ain't what he want.
oh, absolutely.
I'm telling you on the real, cause he still got some of that 239 in him.
Mm-hmm.
That's on the real.
Mm-hmm. And Miss
So
Connie don't want
Marcel couldn't
him
even come close to Dion.
to.
And the
Yeah,
money he think he gonna make on YouTube, it's gonna be a drag fest.
right.
Mm-hmm.
It won't be that. And I'm sorry, guys.
Because he done ruined his reputation, basically. Nobody
Well,
wants to
after he
listen to
yelled at
Marcel.
Melody at the reunion, I don't think he's going to
Yeah.
do
Did
well with
anybody
that.
notice how Carlos was kind of like laid back? He wasn't his chippy self. Yes, yes. He wasn't doing all of that. He was just like nonchalant, really. So yeah, I agree with someone that said earlier that I think he's in trouble.
Oh, he's in trouble, all right. And I don't, by having Stormy's mom go off on one of the executive producers who was able to change the format of the show, I don't think that's smart. He still wants to have Wanda 2.0 come out. I can tell
Mm.
that. I think Carlos is behind this.
She gonna regret
I
going
think
on
I
the
agree with
show.
you, Anonymous.
Huh?
I agree with you. I
Yeah,
believe
I
Carlos.
think Carlos is behind this.
I believe he started this after that reunion. He caught too much backlash and he didn't like it. So, what better way to get back at Mel is to have the entire cast turn on her, somewhat like he did to Nene.
Mm-hmm.
But I
And
think his problem is he doesn't realize that with Melody creating the show, Love and Mary Tunstall, and what he allowed Hotel to do with him behind every good man, behind every man to terrorize. All she
yeah,
has to do is file a lawsuit, and then more importantly, she did, what Pookie did to Vanessa. All she has to do is file a lawsuit, and OWN and Discovery's in deep trouble.
Can
it's
I say
Mhm.
something?
definitely. Give me 1 second, Simply Beautiful.
Mhm.
First, let me acknowledge Hannah Grace. And Hannah, how come you're not up here? But thank you for the super chat. She put Stormy's mother is out of line and she has no one to blame but herself if her action causes her daughter to lose customers. I
Amen.
agree. I agree. Go ahead, Simply Beautiful. I'm sorry.
Um, did you guys notice how when Marceau and Tisha were having their little interaction at the bar, how quickly production stepped in because of whatever transpired that they did not let us see? But when
Mhm.
Martell was on Mel's porch giving her hell, there was nobody to step in and tell him to back off.
Mm,
Facts.
so true. That is
Nobody stepped
Dang.
in, and they don't step in because they love the fact that he's going at her.
mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that. Remember, you said it, Simply Beautiful. Remember, Carlos Queen said his favorite show was What Happened in Vegas
Yeah.
when Hotel was
Did
about
he
to
say
physically
that?
assault.
Yes.
Yep, on a podcast.
Oh,
Wow.
He was about
that's
to physically
disgusting.
assault Melody twice.
Wow.
And that's
And
why I say the uppers of OWN and Discovery. I mean, we're dealing with the Me Too movement.
Yeah, for sure.
Melody knows she has the upper hand to probably have Carlos be removed
Mm-hmm. For
What
just
did
with the
sure.
Carlos
lawsuit
see his
dropping.
mama go through? What
And
did Carlos see his
especially
mama go through
I don't know.
What
it has to
Hotel
be
saw Marlene go through.
yeah,
for
it has
him
to
to
be
think that's okay?
Yeah,
Yeah, when
because
Yes,
he
ma'am.
said that,
she
when he said
definitely
that, I
can
was
make
like,
a
"Are you
lot of
serious?"
noise. I'm
Hmm.
sorry, but Mel could make a lot of noise when it comes to a hostile work environment.
Yep.
But
Yep.
with what do I call them? Cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs. With them
Hmm.
allowing him on that show, that's a whole different level.
But
Because
how do we know that that's not going on now behind the scenes?
I
It
hope
is, but the
so.
problem is, it probably is, and that's why they've been able to change the direction. Because think about it,
Mm-hmm.
Vanessa and Melody have been using the
Oh, I
content
gotta come up
creators,
on stage.
the IG lives, to
Mm-hmm.
counter the narrative of what Carlos is doing and show it.
Did y'all see when Wanda was trying to allude that the content creators was only saying what they were saying because Melody was feeding them information, as if the content creators don't have their own mind and don't have enough to like just not like them on their own.
She
Yeah.
even had Marcella saying it.
Yeah, I saw that.
You
I
think
was
And
like,
it
what are
was
Carlos
you
is
talking
paying
about?
them? You think Carlos is paying them? Because some of
Paying
these
who?
content
Yes.
creators, I've noticed that they've always tried to help Hotel out or Carlos.
Mm.
Yeah, I agree with you. I said the same
Wow.
thing, and certain ones have a hate for Melody that don't make no sense. They talk about people that support her, but they be coming out of nowhere trying to rationalize why that man does what he does or the way he moves and
Yeah.
stuff. And it's like, who's feeding you? And like you say, hit dogs holler. So we have a tendency to project onto others the things that we do ourselves. You
Mm-hmm.
know?
That's
mm-hmm.
that's so true. Kianta, thank you so much for joining us.
Hello, ladies.
Hello,
Hi,
hello.
Kianta.
And to the 473 that's watching, please hit the like button. Thank you guys for viewing and feel free to drop down in the chat.
Have you guys been over to Aunt Anne's channel?
Mm-mm.
No.
Mm-mm.
I know she went in.
Well, Aunt Anne is over there dropping tea, and she's not going to release the pictures until tomorrow. And
What?
she's
What?
talking about Stormy and AC, and I'm going to go back and just fill you in just a little bit.
Oh
But
my goodness.
No.
Give
Why
us
are
so
the
do
you
you
doing
guys
this?
so do
Why
you
is she
guys
doing
remember
this?
So do you guys remember when AC, she goes on rants, a lot of those. And do you guys remember when it came out that Stormy's supposedly business page was following AC
still
Yes.
is.
Mm-hmm.
and still is?
Mm-hmm.
So the key possibly is what she has is pictures of AC dealing with Stormy.
No way.
And I believe, and I can only read through because she's not giving it all, is that you remember when Stormy came out and she indicated about how AC will be sitting in the car, so called waiting for her best friend.
Yes.
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 Well, I found it kind of odd when she said it that way because I'm like, if I wouldn't be nowhere waiting on my best friend to come out of their job. I'm not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm.
I believe that the best friend was AC's man.
I heard that
I
Mm.
before.
think
He
so
was
too.
dating
Yeah.
somebody that was working there.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And that you remember how AC came out and she alluded to that. And I'm going to say alluded and allegedly because we don't know that Stormy paid to get on Love and Marriage Huntsville. Y'all
Mm-hmm.
remember that?
We do.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Stormy
Yeah, I
said that
do.
Okay.
herself too.
Yes. Now, what I am going to go back and I'm just going to think because, most of us work in corporate world or we have.
Mm-hmm.
And most of the time, if you're doing business with somebody and you have a contract, there's some type of infringement that or breaking that if you're giving money somehow involving something can allude or it could be a lawsuit involved, possibly.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
So I'm wondering if Stormy gave in to being on Love and Marriage Huntsville Did the key producers know, or did Carlos just know? Was the
Say
Mm,
that
money
again.
was the money just donated to Carlos to be on the
Ooh,
show?
What?
Wow,
No, you
that
aren't.
would be
Ooh, Jesus.
something
Go,
else.
girl.
I'm
Oh
just
my
saying, because I
Uh,
mean, now that
yeah.
Ann is talking, and I can only speak because I've always worked in corporate, and I know when you're dealing with, especially when you're dealing with either pharmaceuticals or, let's say, hospitals, there's some type of guidelines when you're in upper management that you can't do business with them within so much of a time period. So why I'm saying this is that there was a rumor that Stormy gave money.
Yeah.
Now, did the money go to OWN, or did the money go to Carlos and production?
Child.
right,
Carlos has a
right.
conflict of interest.
Because if that's the case, and Carlos taking money from her, that is a conflict of interest, and
For
that
sure.
can put them in a lawsuit.
Oh my God.
Yeah, he'll be fired before that comes out. He'll be demoted.
Right. And you got to think about that Carlos, if you think about all the people that's come on this show, and I was listening to Color Me Pink last night, and she did confirm that Tiffany will not be on the show next season. She confirmed that.
Oh,
Yeah,
So
really?
I
so
expected that.
Tiffany will not be on the show next season, and that's all she said. She said, I can for sure confirm that this is your last time, or rather being on TV, that this is the last time you will see Tiffany out besides being at the reunion. So she is not coming back.
Hmm.
Well, good,
I
I
cause
think with her
wonder.
pregnancy, she's not going to come.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
Right,
I'm wondering if it's due to her pregnancy or if they just didn't offer her a new contract.
I don't think they got
right.
another contract. They was boring
Mm.
as well.
I think it was both, but I think it's
Hmm.
either way.
is Destiny going to?
She
Well,
gone.
Is
I don't
Destiny
want to
gone?
confirm that or not, but something is going on. There's a big shakeup. And also last week, or maybe it was the week before, I was watching Miss Van's story. And I don't want to say, because when I went back to look at it again, it wasn't there. But there was a picture of Miss Van, Melody, and a guy, and it was something about real estate, like
Yes.
realty.
Yep.
Did you? Okay. So
Mhm.
my thoughts was, because it was like a snippet, and I tried to go back and look again, and it was gone. I wonder, because Melanie's making moves. She will next season. I'm for sure. I can count that she is not going to be on that show. She will probably do up into that 100th episode,
Yep.
and then from there she will begin to pull back and not film as much as she has been doing. I just have
Mhm.
that feeling.
I
And
believe.
then
I agree
do
with you.
you?
I
Me
agree.
And
too.
then I believe that her and Miss Van are going to begin, because we do know that they did buy some land.
Yeah.
I wonder if she'll take her production into building on that land, because there was something on Miss Van's, um on her reel, but it wasn't there anymore when I went back to see it, as to look at it again. It was gone.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think Melody said she's getting back her licenses or keeping them renewed because she's planning on doing something strategic
Yes,
with the
yes,
land.
yes. And
Uh,
if you watch everyone that they've tried to come onto this show, you think about Tiffany, you think about Destiny, you think everyone has tried to get close to Mel, but in the meanwhile of getting close to her, they begin to bridge over up under um Tisha, and turn their back on Mel. Now, regardless, Stormy's
Their
mom is
hotel. It
another.
was hotel.
Yeah,
They were doing.
Stormy's mom is another version of Wanda,
mhm.
Yep.
because in the background when I heard her talking, I was like, we don't want to see that. And if you notice, even with Mel, when she was tweeting last night, she was saying that these producers, Nobody has her number, not even the producers. And she's been saying that she hangs out with none of these people,
Yep.
none of them. So Melanie, no, Melanie is not a dummy. She's far from that, and I know she's able to read these people to filth. She knows that all of these people are snakes. She knows the reason why they're coming at her is because of the key source, Martell.
Hmm.
Right.
These are all
That's why she
Martell's
said that
friends.
Martell
These
is
are all
the
Martell's
ringleader.
friends.
I've been asking the
Somebody,
question: Does
go ahead, Simply Beautiful.
Storm, Stormy's husband was, I believe, born and raised in Huntsville, Alabama? So does he know Martell? Seeing
I'm
that
sure.
everybody wants to talk about how small it is, does
He
Hmm.
he also
might.
know? Does he also know Martell Holt?
Who's Stormy husband?
Yeah.
I'm not sure, but he doesn't seem like the type of man that gets into that drama stuff.
Yeah, at
He's more
all.
Yeah.
laid back. And they
Mm.
also said that he don't want to be on the show. That's Stormy. He's just trying to back her. I can't see that.
I kind of think after watching today and how Stormy Mom is operating, it looks to me like she's vying for a contract as a friend of the show to be with her daughter.
Hmm.
Yeah,
And
Oh,
with
I
that's
that,
said that.
Carlos putting that battery in her to be
yeah,
like the Wanda 2.0.
like I
And
said,
you
Hmm.
know
I
what?
believe they have had conversations now that everybody seems to hang out at Black now. They have been talking amongst themselves. They're trying to push Mel off the show.
for
That's why she
sure.
ain't leaving.
For sure. And I wouldn't leave either, because that's definitely their goal for sure. You
But you know what? They don't have to push her out because when that 100 episode happened,
Right.
101 episode happened. Somebody need to put in some applications at McDonald's, Taco Bell, wherever they need to go. That's where they gonna have to go. Cause
Or
it's gonna
Hmm.
be a wrap. It's gonna be deuces. And Stormy better be glad she got that $1 million business. But if, at the rate that she's going right now, she need to
Hmm.
tell her mama to pipe down.
I would
Hmm.
And
too.
you
Cause
know what? She got to think about her sponsors. You think about she
exactly.
has these big. You're talking about Walmart, Target.
yeah,
Girl, if you get on this TV show and you begin to show your tail, you're gonna start affecting your sponsors, and that means that your sponsors are gonna pull out. You saw what was going on with Kanye West. You saw that
Facts.
you think about Rihanna dealing with Fenty. How many celebrities have gotten contracts and she's found out they've done some snake shenanigans and she's ripped that contract from up under
Right
them. So
away.
why Stormy is out here trying to be, I don't know, the it girl, whatever, you got to think about you're talking about your image. You're worried about your image. No, you're not, because if you were worried about your image, girl, you would have never got out of pocket with Destiny. Destiny didn't do
Right.
anything that would allowed you as a professional, as a businessman woman, as a millionaire, as you proclaim, to make you get out of pocket to the point that you walking around saying, "That's what's up, girl." I would
right. That's what
never.
she said.
Why would
That's
you?
what's up, and she also threw her money in there. You ain't got enough to come at me. It's always about Stormy's money.
Yes, and the same token that people forget, I think people are forgetting that prior to Mel and Martell divorcing and dissolving all of their businesses, Melanie and Martell were millionaires as well. So I
Yes.
think people forget that, and they're always wondering why, well, Mel ain't got no money. No,
Yeah,
Mel
Mel
did
Mel
have money.
yep.
Yeah,
She made, that's why I said, I don't know, Hotel has a mental illness
for sure.
because to go from poverty with his mother
Mm-hmm.
and for Melody, even though he has a learning disability, to help him get his millionaire status, the fame got to his head and he went off.
Yep.
He
Hmm.
really went off.
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
and he had one more chance to keep his family, and all he had to do was stop, and he wouldn't stop. Something's
Hmm.
wrong with him.
Yeah.
And
That
it's the same
neighborhood that
thing
Mel.
even with Carlos King. He's on there. He's so involved with the Real Housewives. He needs to worry about his own show, because what you're doing, you allowed for Monique to come on, and Monique was the face of Love and Marriage DC. You
Mm-hmm.
put Monique, regardless, yes, maybe Monique and her husband has some issues going on, but you put her in a bad light and you made her look like a grimy, nasty, bitter
Yeah.
old woman the entire season. Bell Collective, he did the same thing
Yeah,
there. You think
yeah,
about at Real Housewives of Atlanta, you took Portia and Candy, were A1s. Yes, her and
Mhm.
Phaedra has some, but Candy did a lot for Portia, and he needed some mess, so he stirred. I don't care what Candy says, and me and Candy's birthdays are just days apart, and I'm a true blood Taurus. And if you cross me the wrong way, I'm done with you. I'm not gonna fool with you no more. So I believe that whatever Carlos did was true facts, and regardless if Candy wants us to believe it or not, Carlos put that battery in Phaedra's back to do what he did and make her look like a bad person. I mean, to be called Bill Cosby, like, come on,
Yeah.
Carlos, you dirty and you grimy and you like to sit up
Mhm.
and do them fake tears on national TV and put in batteries in all these people's backs. You're a nasty person, and you know what? You're going to get nothing from that, and you're going to miss your blessings because you're too busy being nasty and spitting on the next black person. And that's the thing that makes me so upset about us as African Americans. Instead of us picking each other up, pushing each, you would rather sit and tear another woman, a man, a child down to pieces. We need to stop that. It's so nasty. And all, and people, Mel is nasty. No, if you watched that scene last night, Carlos or whoever production, they copy, they had to do so much pasting of the scenes. You could tell, and you
Yeah.
could tell that
Heavily
there were
edited.
things, you
Mhm.
could tell when I watched it twice this morning. They copied and pasted those scenes together, and you ultimately try to turn around and still make Mel look like she's the villain, knowing that Martell is a nasty individual. And regardless
Mhm.
of what was said, it's okay to tell AC, hey, the kids, came in contact with somebody with C19. Okay, but why did you have to go back and tell her all of Melanie's business? Because she's going to run to the internet. She didn't air you out about you having COVID. What if
No.
you gave that baby COVID? Oh, C19, I'm
Yes.
sorry. C19, I'm sorry.
Mhm.
But
Yeah,
my
because
thing
Mel
is,
said he heard it 3 times.
exactly. Y'all both work, you both work, you're both out and traveling. So there is the possibility, Martell, you gave it to the baby. How do we know the
Mm-hmm.
baby didn't give it back to one of the other children and they just had symptoms and it really was passed on to you or Mel? And Mel said that she wasn't having any contact with you, that y'all were trading the kids at the school.
Yeah, and other people were picking him up. He just was doing narcissistic gaslighting.
Exactly.
He was lying. He was trying to make her look bad
Yeah.
on
You
TV
didn't have
because
to
she
mention her
wouldn't
name
do it.
at all.
Yeah.
I
No.
don't know if Martell knows when he say when Mel say something, he say stop lying. Martell
Always.
be lying every time he say that.
Well, she told the truth. You did try to
No.
ask me to come back. What are you talking
Right.
about?
They
But
have
those
real life
cameras,
footage of him saying it
look,
on the
those
show.
cameras are rolling. So he knows he has
Exactly.
to put on the act because the cameras are rolling. He know he
Yeah,
said
he
that, you know.
yeah, he
That
has to
guy sick.
yeah,
Them
it's the
dudes
same
up
thing.
there, they terrible.
Well, it's the same thing with Latifah at the reunion,
Mm.
stating that
Uh,
Melody has a dark soul. Really?
She got that from Martell.
God, oh, that's just
but
like
when she was saying that, when I watched that, do I saw something come out of Tisha?
Mm-hmm.
I used to say, hate is a very strong emotion.
Yes, ma'am.
Mm-hmm.
mhm.
And I saw that Tisha loathes Melody.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
She hate Melody with a passion. Because if you
But
can remember
why?
that, if you remember last reunion, she didn't say it verbatim, but she pretty much said the same thing about Mel. last reunion.
Mm-hmm.
But Mel has a dark soul. Mel don't know how to be a friend. Mel this and Mel that. If Mel's soul is so dark, and if she don't know how to be a friend, why do you want to be a friend to someone who don't want to be a friend with you? What is the
Absolutely.
problem? That's with her.
Hmm.
That's with Destiny, and
Hmm.
now it's going to be with Stormy.
Yep.
You don't see Mel said it, and she got the T-shirt to prove it. I got money to make and not friends to fake.
Right.
Now, and if Stormy want to be a part of that group, girl, go ahead and do you.
Absolutely,
Cause
absolutely.
see,
Because
cause I'm
guess
gonna
what?
be doing me, and truth be told, I bet you, okay, the last time something that happened, I said, you know what, they're just talking, doing all this with Mel. I said, but watch and see Mel gonna come out with another business venture. What Mel did. Now she got a home decor business.
Sure did.
Partner with someone in home decor. Now all of this thing happen again. Watch and see what Mel finna do.
Mm-hmm.
Watch and see what Mel getting ready to do. She leaving them behind because see Mel getting ready to. She ain't got to wait till she's 65 to retire and
Mm-hmm.
let her business work for her. She working for her business right now.
Yeah.
Hmm.
She's working for her business, but I
Mm-hmm.
guarantee you, 5, 10 years, her business gonna be working for her.
Uh-huh.
So
Well,
she
it's
ain't gonna
working
have
for
to
her
have no.
now anyway. She's just
True.
putting some work, but she has 10 plus businesses I think she has operating right now. So
Hmm.
Exactly. So she ain't got to do no re lunch. She ain't got to do no homemade commercial where you're out there doing all kind of stupid stuff trying to show your
Yeah.
product, and then you're wearing a t-shirt that for a business that ain't even open, ain't never been open, and ain't gonna be open.
She upset now, boy.
And
child.
just so much hate on,
Hmm.
just so much hate on one person, and then this man gonna try to bogart his way in her house.
Ooh.
He
That
did. I
part right
told you he
there.
looked like Tim Norman of Sweetie Pies.
I saw
He
that. I saw
looked
where you said that.
he
Legs, hips,
looked
body,
just
howdy.
like Tim Norman of Sweetie Pies when he was on TV trying to get into Janae's house.
Mm.
Yes.
They looked alike. And both of them are narcissistic sociopaths, as Mind of Lilith did the thing. Hotel is dangerous. I,
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
No,
everybody's like, Melanie need to get off the show. No, the show is saving her life.
I think so too.
Yes.
Let me add somebody up real quick. Continue talking, Anonymous. I just
Yeah,
want
the
to add
show,
Lala.
the
Go ahead.
show is to me, the show is
No.
saving her life because think about people who are dealing with narcissistic sociopaths. They don't have the cameras to show what's going on
True. Yeah, that's true.
and
And hers
protect
was
her
well
literally.
documented. Yeah. Yeah.
Because if the camera wasn't there, I think he was going to push his way into her home.
Mm.
Yeah, he did look like that.
He was
He looked like
upset,
he was.
wasn't he?
He was
Lala, are you
mad.
Yes, I'm here. Thank you
there?
for adding me.
Hi,
You're
Lala.
welcome.
Hey.
Thank
Hi,
you for
Lala.
We
joining
got the
us.
British
Hi,
coming. The British
everybody.
are coming, y'all.
Anonymous, you know I love you. I follow where you go.
Thank you so much, Lala, for joining us. And real quick,
Thank
520
you for having
watching.
me.
Please hit the like button for me, guys. Lala, what do you think about the conversation?
So, everybody knows me by now. I do not mince my words. I just think there's a bunch of foolery going on right now. I'm really, really not surprised by Stormy because I've said it before that she is a user and she was fake all along. How are you on a show not promoting your products, not talking about your products, not talking about your
Mm-hmm.
growth of your business, but you're too involved in another woman's business and her marriage and her ex-husband and her kids? You're always popping up to her events and
Yes.
talking about her life, but you don't want to talk about your life. You're married, you have a husband, you have a
Mhm.
child, you've got a multi-million-dollar business, but you don't want to work, like, concentrate on that, promote
Mm-hmm.
that and promote yourself as a human being and your charitable work or anything, but you want to come on the show and just bash a woman that
Yeah.
you claim to be was your friend. I think she just used Mel, allowed Mel to, like, film her video in her house just for a way for her to be shown on the show, and she's just a
point blank ghetto ass millionaire. That's what she is. And she's pissed off because people clock that she's just ghetto. Because she did a live couple months ago saying, I'm not ghetto. Like, stop putting the ghetto card on me. I'm not you are ghetto. And your mother's ghetto by going on social media and dogging out this woman that has always respectful to senior citizens. I don't get it. What's your point?
Very
Why are
ghetto.
you going on
I
like,
agree.
I'm sorry, like, this is a black woman here, right? And this is a black show, and you have the nerve to dog her out and join a clique with everybody else. Are you joking? But I've been saying it for a while, and a lot of people are like, no, you can't say that, she's not like that. I'm really good at spotting fake ass bitches from a mile off, and that one is as fake as they come. And Martell, oh, don't get me started on that guy. I'm over him. Like, he really disgusts me. And his newfound, peace, and I'm a different person now. It's not fooling anyone. The caller previously said that the show was chopped up. It really was. I felt like it was chopped up. There's missing pieces of that part of Mel and him. And I felt like they put it all together and it wasn't making sense. Like him going, turning back around again, calling her. There were so many like missing scenes from there that I didn't understand. And you can tell the narrative they have. And it's to portray Mel as a petty woman and, vindictive when she's not. He is a narcissistic, evil human being. And she doesn't want that evilness in her house. And that's understandable. She's protecting her peace. When you allow your disgusting trash bag baby mama to cuss this woman out on social media, and you gave her that ammunition, you are going to come to my house. Are you joking? You won't even step to me. She shouldn't even accepted him coming. And at first he lied, said, I'm coming to collect the girl's bag. And then he goes, no, I came to discuss, our children. So if you came to discuss your children, why are you bringing a bottle of wine and documents?
Yeah.
Like, who wants to talk about children while drinking? It doesn't make sense. And I feel really sorry for Mel, but I feel like when you're protected like her, she can take it on. And I think that's also due to the fact she's the only child and she always had to protect herself. She don't need any of these people, and she really does not need them. And I think they need her. If they want this show to continue, they need to all play their parts and fix themselves up before this show goes under. And it will go under the minute she says, chucks her deuces up at them. That's my opinion.
I agree, Lala, with everything you said. And I think it's up to the producers, especially, to demand more from the other cast members. So I'm just not sure how this has been allowed, especially this whole season and part of last season. It's been a male bash fest almost every episode. It's sickening.
And we're over it. Like, we're over the lies. We're over the fact that you're trying to make it seem like we're stupid and we can't follow what you're trying to do here. And Keisha needs to get a life. My goodness. Is Mel paying you? Is Mel paying your bills? Why you got this woman's mouth in your, why all you do is talk about her?
Honey,
Because
that
you have no
woman is
storyline.
obsessed like the peasant.
That's what I'm saying. They're hella obsessed. And I'll be damned if somebody called me an enemy and I've got their names in. I will never speak about them ever in my life. She's now portraying herself to be a desperate housewife. Like, she's proper desperate. Because all you talk about is Mel. Why don't you talk about your cheating ass, loser, fatty husband that has to wear a girdle on national television with his fat ass stomach out? Like, come on now. Let's talk about him. Let's talk about your lawsuits. Let's talk about your ghetto ass mother that don't know how to respect people. Let's talk about all of that. Let's talk about the fact that you got a degree and a master's, but you can't go out and work because he wants you at home. Let's talk about that. But why you keep talking about Mel? She doesn't even talk about you.
I wonder if her record is the reason why she can't work.
Income
wonder
no,
if her-
it's not the record.
I wonder if her record is the reason why she can't find a job. I wonder why.
But she said she's trying to do real estate.
She could clean black and make a check that way. She
She
could clean her
posted on her
house.
page that she was like doing a Gmail thing account for her real estate. But they all trying to get back in real estate. They gonna, Lord have mercy, God forgive me what I'm about to say. Stormy really need to pray up. I think her only covering is that man that she's with, because I feel like Courtney is
Okay.
a good person. And I feel like, you know how people say Melody was Martell's covering? I think Stormy's covering is
Mm-hmm.
Courtney, 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
And they are all trying to get back into real estate, and I feel like they're going to try to do what they weren't able to do to Melody. And Melody knew what she was doing. That's why she was able to catch wind and cut them off. Stormy don't know nothing about that realm of work.
Mhm.
And I feel like they all getting together, you know what I mean, Power Ranger style, and they're gonna do their comeback group, and they're gonna ride off of her and try to drain her. I'm telling you.
I
Because
But you
know,
know
now
what?
they
You're
talking
right.
about doing
You're
the same
right.
thing.
but she's
You're
not
right. Because
smart.
you remember when Marceau had that talk with Stormy
Miss
husband?
Miss Stormy
Yeah.
husband.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's exactly they're gonna try to do to Stormy what they couldn't do to Melody. And then you
Exactly.
know what Lala has said as far as you know what everybody in the chat, everybody that's on the panel now got some crazy, got some day days in their family,
For
and
sure.
got
Right.
brother from the fourth floor with three fingers showing, saying I'm from the fourth floor but got three fingers. And they got some thugs in their family. And I know Melody, I know, and nobody can tell me anything different. Melody is holding her family back from getting with Martell, Marceau, Maurice,
Mm-hmm.
Basement Billy, and then
And
Heavy
Latifah.
D that just want to come out a couple of weeks, a couple of days ago. And Mel is telling them, "No, I got this. I can handle this.
Mhm.
But when it
Yeah.
get too heavy, I'm going to unleash. Y'all can do what you want to do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for
You
In the
can do
sure.
chat,
what you
what you
want to do."
call
So
what did you call his brother? Forrest Whitaker.
No, Heavy D, the overweight lover, Heavy
Mm-hmm.
D.
Like a
That's what
little
you guys
Igor.
calling who? Micah?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I called him
not
Forrest.
3.0.
I apologize to Forrest. I called him Forrest on video. I
Forrest
Not
did.
the
with
older.
with one
Yeah.
eye.
I was just talking about the eye, but I'm sorry, Forrest. You ain't had nothing to do with that. But as
Oh.
far as far as Courtney, I made a whole video warning him. Don't go
Yeah.
into business with them Scots.
I
So
wouldn't
I
either.
really do agree with that we know they're gonna always have like motives of things that they do. That's how they move. And yeah, they'll make Stormy and her husband go broke and be facing lawsuits and everything else. So I hope they think
Yeah.
twice about that.
Because you watch what she said on that live, and you got to watch, from your mouth comes power. Sometimes you send things in the air for yourself, not knowing it. She
Yep.
sat
Mm-hmm.
there on that live talking about you ain't made it until you had a lawsuit. Girl, you better stop with that mentality. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
they already be threatening people talking about lawsuits. Let me tell you something. You got to understand the reason. Now, I ain't got no degree in law, but I know that if you're going to have somebody be sued, you better be on good standing and know what you suing them for. Because they
Mm.
can turn around and say, I've got, what they call it? I've been under distress, and then sue you because you got them all stressed out and defamation of character or whatever, and the very thing that you brought them in the court in, they gonna turn around and counter sue your behind, and they
Mhm.
make the money off of you that you was initially trying to make off of them. You know, like, she need to stop herself. She doesn't move with, Melody moves with discernment.
Yeah.
Melody has discernment. That's something you can't fake, that you can't sage into your life. You
That's
can't
true.
sound bold into your life. That's something that you have to get on your knees and pray, and God gives to you. You know
All
what I'm
right.
saying?
Mhm.
And she looking at the blueprint, but you can look at something and still not really understand the print of what it is. Like, you know what I mean? The measurements and what's the detail of it, you know?
Mhm.
That man is covering her, y'all, like 100%. Like, when I seen him on that TV screen and the way he is, there's a level of innocence that man has,
I
and I
agree.
feel
right.
like he really loves her, and I feel
Hmm.
like he doesn't fit well with those men. I feel
He
like
doesn't.
he does not. He's just
Mhm.
like Big Lou. Big Lou is a good person as
Yeah.
well. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's just not with that
The
level of
mess.
like pettiness.
Yeah.
Lou
yeah, they're
couldn't even find
crooks.
himself to be like with Martell with the BS. He's like, man, that's their mama. You know, you can't really take
Right.
kids from their mama, and or you was a little too aggressive, and he didn't feel well with those dudes. Like Chris Fletcher too. Chris
Yeah.
Fletcher is a man who learned from his mistakes. And
Mm-hmm.
he
Yes.
don't want to rub shoulders with no fools like that because them men, they think they're getting away with it. But I feel
Yeah.
like it's gonna get to a situation to where they building up to something that's gonna be so catastrophic they can't back
It's
themselves
gonna
out of
blow up
it.
on them.
Well,
It's
I'm
gonna
ready
blow up
for
Mhm.
it
on
to
all of them.
blow. I'm ready for it to blow because
Well,
it's
it's
been,
gonna blow from what we heard with the reunion talking
yeah,
about Credit One and
it
sex
seems
parties
like,
being
but
closed.
yeah, they just gonna introduce that, and they're gonna talk about the YouTubers, because that's where it came from.
Yeah, but I
YouTube and
heard the
Facebook.
shop is closed allegedly.
Oh, Credit One is closed.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
Oh
it's
I,
wow.
closed,
I
just like
I didn't
Madani.
like that part whenever Carlos threw that out there about Credit One and the S and all of that going on. And then the next scene it was Kimmy and she was crying. So that kind of took away from actually talking about the Credit One because Kimmy started talking about her situation. And
Mm-hmm.
at that point everybody started having sympathy and they kind of forgot all about, I didn't like that.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
He
just,
was deflecting. He was
yeah, story.
deflecting from
Yeah.
talking about because it must be was in the newspaper because allegedly they hangs around with what his name and he looks
Talk about
what
Cedric.
yes, Derek.
Mm.
Oh yeah, and he
He
had
looks
Oh
like a
yeah.
filthy, dirty, pig anyway.
Pedophile.
They
Mm,
all are.
you can't
Yes,
say
he
that
looks.
word. Who said that?
I'm sorry.
The P word. Okay, yeah.
And he looks that part, and I, if it's not true, but then with him, he's always let him keep on saying it. Somebody's gonna get sued. Who you gonna sue? Who is
Their
Mm-hmm.
somebody?
credit. He gonna sue their credit,
First, you got
y'all.
to prove it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
Can somebody explain that look whenever Maurice told Destiny don't do that and then he kind of cut his eye over at Kimmy? Like Kimmy don't know?
I'm
Oh, did
telling
he?
you, I
He
think
he told that
Maurice, yeah, Maurice and Dusty Destiny got something going on.
Mm.
That don't make
Mm.
sense to me. He
Yeah,
he
because
he moves her like a puppet.
it was odd because if Destiny's connection was supposed to be Martell, I just don't see Maurice having that type of power if,
it
anything.
seemed like that should have came from Martell instead of Maurice.
Exactly. That's what I'm
Unless
saying.
the homies share her around, allegedly.
Lordy.
Mm.
Or or I think he may have said, "Don't do it, Destiny," because he already knew Mel was on the rampage, and
Okay.
that if you're gonna go ahead, you want to spew mine, like Melly said, well, go ahead and tell
Mm.
it. I
She got a
Mhm.
think
winner.
he told, don't do it, Destiny, because he knew that Mel was already in rare form. Was already exposing people,
She was
and
gonna
I don't
go.
want her to mess with me. So just leave her alone. Leave her
Mhm.
alone.
Good point.
Because if you heard her, she did say, "Well, if you come for me, I'm a come for you back." She
Yeah.
I
already
know.
said it. So I believe that regardless of what we see, there is so much more that has gone on during taping, because even when you think back, some of the scenes that we were supposed to see, they were not in this season. What about the when Destiny and Martell met up at the gym? What happened
Mm.
to that? And then what about the conversation with Marceau and Martell? Where were those scenes? Why didn't you put those? Because you did do a lot of fillers. So if you were going to do the fillers, why didn't you put those scenes in? I think you did that because you was mad with Melody, or I believe that it could be vice versa. The reason why it ended the way that it did, that's when all of the information began to come out with Martell and Melanie going back and forth on social media. And I think maybe somewhere along the way that there was a halt and they had to kind of stop it and pace it the way that it ended. That's
Yeah.
the only thing that I can think of. And especially with them going to court and all of that, what if that the court case played a role into this filming and we just don't know?
Yeah.
And that's
Yeah.
true.
And
So
also, even with Martell
know?
meeting up with Sheree, remember the pictures of Martell, and he even mentioned it yesterday that the kids met her. Well,
What's that about?
Carlos said that Sheree would be on this
Yep,
season, and
He
they
sure
revealed
did.
that. We
Well,
didn't see Sheree.
why did he not put her on at that show?
Who,
I
Carlos?
believe that he couldn't. I believe that there was some kind of breach within their contract. I
Might be
believe
true.
that
Mm,
there was something because you're sitting up here boasting about her being on the show, and everyone is saying that if you're on one reality show, you can't be on another because you think about Kenya and Dancing with the Stars. And remember, there was a huge conflict with Kenya, and Kenya had to come out of Dancing with the Stars because of her contract with Bravo with the filming. So that's why I'm saying
Well, no, that's not, and I don't want to say it's not true, but that's not true because that's the whole premise of Dancing with the Stars. So they've
mm-hmm.
always had reality show celebrities on there, other actresses and actors. So I don't think it's a conflict. I think it's a conflict when it's shows such as Love and Marriage and Real Housewives because it's basically the same thing. But I don't even know if that's true because Martell filmed the first episode that they taped on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
What if it's like y'all say because what he did when he cut up over there, and they were
Yeah,
like, "Oh hell, like he's not gonna be," you know what I mean?
that's true.
I
With
don't
And,
think
Kenya,
anybody
and
like Carlos over
about
there.
that. And it also could be, Sheree is all about her money.
yeah,
Sheree is not finna let Martell, who ain't got 10 pennies, to stop
right.
no flow for her because she's hanging on by a thread. We don't know what her storyline gonna be next. What is her
True.
storyline gonna be next season?
Next season, that's
So
true.
she got to find her storyline because she's just walking on very thin ice over there. So
And
she's not
I
gonna let
Martell,
Martell mess up what she got going on. Talk about
mhm,
he didn't want the spotlight. No, he didn't want the spotlight to be taken off of him.
that's
By
right.
by her being there, it would have been a distraction. No, baby, it wouldn't have
Mm,
been no distraction. Cherie wasn't gonna mess up her money, and now
mm,
Cherie done found out that you ain't what you were portraying yourself to be.
that's
Mm.
so true. And he
and
Now,
you
got,
know
They
what?
so
but
uncomfortable when they are together. They look so uncomfortable. Martell and
Yeah.
Sheree. I'm like, what is this? But I have a question. How do y'all think Mel knew that Destiny was texting Martell at 1 something in the morning?
now I'm
Somebody
curious
said
about
that.
that too.
I think it's
Is
LeBaric,
Simply
people.
Beautiful?
No,
No,
somebody.
yeah,
Simply Beautiful.
yeah.
She leaked some information yesterday. She
Okay.
said simply. Is she up here?
Simply Beautiful. I
No.
just
I'm right
added
here.
that.
I'm right here.
Okay.
Tell the story
What
simply
you
because you
leak,
said it
sis?
yesterday.
From what I heard on another content creator's page, supposedly Martell tried to have Mel's phone hacked so that whatever came to her phone was supposed to come to his phone. What ended up happening is whoever tried to do it did it in reverse. So his information came to
Went to me.
Mel's phone.
Oh,
So that was
Ooh.
Dusty
Mm,
Destiny that messed it up.
Yeah.
Oh
yep.
my God.
But
See
can
how?
I say something real quick?
Yeah.
Because I was looking at Stormy's mom's tweet, and she said that the audio, I'm assuming that Destiny played, came from Mel's TMZ interview. No, it didn't. It didn't come from any interview that Melody did where she was asked about how she felt about Martell and Sheree. She may have said the same thing, but she does that slight chuckle in one that was missing from that audio. She do the I don't really care in another one. They're all
Hmm.
different, but she said the same thing. It's the clarity in the audio that Destiny has, which makes me believe somebody secretly recorded Mel during a conversation.
And
So
if
you
mm,
you
think
read
Carlos did
it,
it?
but if you read her hashtags when she's on Twitter, she hashtagged that somebody did it. She
Yeah,
hashtagged it. She didn't say it directly. She said it indirectly in the hashtags of that tweet.
yeah, because
yeah.
I was up here, my phone overheated, it was on a charger. But I was
Mm.
like, go listen to the interviews that I know she was asked. And I went and listened to each interview, and I was like, no, it was so much. She said it so much clearer without any stuttering or pausing, really, in the Destiny's audio, unlike she did with the Shade Room and On Site and the other interview that's TMZ. I said, no, that's a different audio. So maybe Mel is telling you the truth that somebody secretly recorded her.
Ooh.
So could it be that's why it could it be that's why Hotel was trying to get in that house to get that recording?
I honestly
Possibility.
see. I think the scenes are out of order. I believe
Yes.
that fight scene in Mel's driveway happened before the event because it would explain why Martell was so mad at Mel.
Facts. He wanted her
Before
to be
the
there.
what?
Yeah,
Before the relaunching?
yeah, I
Yes.
believe
Yes.
that happened before, and they just did his like a voiceover to say, "Oh, Mel, she should have came." But he knew she wasn't. That mess happened a week before they were going to court for child custody.
Mm.
That was their first court appearance, was coming up the following week of that event. I believe that's where the catalyst of Mel's anger really comes from, but she doesn't want to put that on the show because it's not a storyline. That's her life, that's her children.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
But he came up there.
but you remember Mel said that producers wanted her to show that, and she said, no, I will not, I did not want that to appear because this is involving my children. She
Correct.
said
And
that.
Mm-hmm.
and then you saw what parent put all the information out there,
It was
Martell.
Hotel.
Yeah.
So
I
now it
don't
makes
see.
sense.
I
But
believe
yeah.
I believe that Martell filed for full custody right after they got back from that vacation.
I think so
Mm-hmm.
too.
I
Yeah.
believe Mel
I
was
agree.
served, but never acknowledged or confronted Martell about being served. I believe the real reason why he showed up to her house is because it was coming close to their court date and she still had not said anything.
Yeah, he was
Now
I
going to
don't
that's what
think,
force
I
her to
thought. That's
settle.
what I thought that was the paperwork that he had as
yeah,
well.
I
Some
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I
sort.
think he was coming here to see if he can get her to agree to what demands he wanted. I believe Mel wants nothing to do with Martell at this point, but she's not
Correct.
going to use her children for a storyline unlike him.
Yeah.
Yes.
You
I
might be
But
believe
right. I
Great
I
think it was
point.
both.
believe everything that transpired that day, he wanted her to sign a custody agreement. And I
Mm-hmm.
think Mel knew what was up. And Mel said, absolutely not. You
Mm-hmm.
want a war?
Mm-hmm.
You
wow.
got one.
Yeah, and see, simply, I think now it makes sense because usually a narcissist will try to force you to do what they
Yep.
want. And
Yep.
that's why he was trying to get in the door because he was going to try to use the cameras to basically make it look like it was sympathetic for him, even though she told Carlos she wouldn't do it. She
Um,
wouldn't do anything on the camera, on the
I
kids.
I really think that, like I said, I believe he came over there because he probably thought they were still good, being that she hasn't acknowledged it to him.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't
Yep.
give him the attention that he
Mm-hmm.
wanted
Yep.
for
That's
filing
it.
that petition. She
Yeah.
basically was just going to show up in court and say, hey, you want a war? You got one.
Let's
Yeah.
go.
And
Mm-hmm.
that's what she needed to do. She was going to set her boundaries because I told you he messed up when he let his Wolverine looking James Brown doll peasant act a fool on
Oh my
IG
God.
Live. If you have
But
a
did
custody
you
case that you just followed, you should have kept your mouth shut.
but did you hear what he said? I don't have control over what other people do.
Yes, he
Yes, he
does.
sure
Yes,
did.
he
But he
does.
That's
Yeah.
does.
what he said.
Yes, he does.
But I want to pivot to Destiny, go back to Destiny.
Mm.
What kind of friend? We know you know that your friend is mentally challenged. You know he has allegedly. You know he can't handle pressure. You know he can't read. You know he can't do a lot of things. Why would you go and take this recording to Martell on what he said was the biggest day of his life, and you bring that to him,
You want to know
and,
why? Because
and
Mel
then the
told us.
look on her face when
Evil.
he
Yep.
goes into a tangent?
Mel
Mm-hmm.
told us why. Mel told us why. Because when people think they are on one accord, they're too
Mm-hmm.
powerful. So the
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
better way to break up the force is to break them apart.
Hmm.
They don't.
Mm-hmm.
None of these people seem to give a damn about the Eminem kids.
They don't.
But
They
she's
And
don't.
did
doing it
y'all
for
see how
Maurice. Did you notice? She's doing it for Maurice.
Yeah, she
You
thinks they're
said
gonna give her
something.
something.
But
Because
you know what,
Marcel
Simply?
even told her in the episode when she was ready to talk about and play the recording, he said he wanted to focus on Inez. She did
right?
it anyway.
Yeah.
Chris was standing up there looking like I do not want to be affiliated with these people.
He was
Yeah.
uncomfortable.
He does not even want to be around Martell like that anymore. God, ooh, it's all over his face.
But
He
but
can hardly
I
take it.
caught that too.
Martell, well, Chris was uncomfortable because his
Right.
eyes shifted away from them. Like, what the hell is going on?
Mm-hmm. And he
But
looking like,
another
I see
thing,
why Mel don't fool with y'all.
yeah,
Y'all are childish. Because he said when he was telling Martell about Marceau, he said, whatever that y'all got going, I don't know, whatever y'all got going on.
Right.
Mm.
Martell kind of made himself look like an idiot in that conversation. The fact of the matter that he compared dating to babysitting.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I was completely lost. And then you said in your confessional, you were in the beginning stages. Then she had no business meeting your children, you idiot.
That's so true. Well, Mel was confused too because that was one of her tweets last night. Like, how did that turn into dating,
Yeah.
babysitting, and dating? So
And then
Martell
he
was
said,
looking for a mama for them kids in status in Atlanta, and I think Sherayden fell completely back from him.
yep.
Uh-huh.
Well,
Uh-huh.
Candy already
Sheree,
had told on him. Candy had already put Martell out there and what he was doing.
Hmm.
Sure
He
did.
had already. So while you sitting up there trying to put Mel on blast, running to ATL, your black self was in ATL more than probably Mel. So shut up.
but
But
he
it was
trying to
like
get Sheree.
Martell
He
was
trying
more comfortable with Destiny than he was with Sheree taking the pictures for that magazine. He looked
Yeah.
so uncomfortable around this lady.
Yeah.
And I hope he wasn't thinking Sheree was gonna be no stepmama because Sheree children grown. And she ain't
Mhm.
had too much time for him when they was growing up. Do you think she gonna have time for 5 kids running around Chateau Sheree? I
Right.
don't think so,
No.
because
At
Sheree
all.
said mama's got a life too.
Mm-hmm.
And
That's
for
right.
whatever
So
reason, Sheree didn't have no room to talk. But before she finished that house, if we go back and see, her kids was sleeping on air mattresses in the living room. So you really don't have no
Um,
room to be talking either. She's
but it's
not
Well,
like
any
people
better.
want to it's like people want to pit Mel and Sheree against each other. And neither one is saying anything about the other, which is good.
exactly. Sheree didn't say anything about Mel.
Right. They
yeah.
need to leave that alone. And if like Marceau laying on the bed, running his mouth, they looking for something. Just like Mel said, they want drama. She said, and I don't have any for 'em.
Hmm.
Well, yeah. When she said that she wasn't bothered, and he kept on saying, "Meaning bothered me. You really are bothered." And I'm like, bro, you're
Had
really
a big
trying to
crock
make
of
something that's not there.
yes, a big crock of crap. How you gonna
Like
tell this
what?
lady how she feeling? If she wanted to be her
Yeah.
husband, she wouldn't have divorced him. So,
You know,
He said that to
besides,
make teacher happy.
yeah, and Tisha
look,
said the same thing basically. Mel knows how to fake it, and she's
Yes,
not
she
talking
did.
about the true feelings. It seems like Tisha and Marceau are the only ones that's saying that. Why are
But
the
yeah,
other
because he knew what was coming down on that reunion, so he had to say something to give her a little boost to make her feel like somebody.
That's true.
she ain't gonna leave him. Why is
She
she even
not.
worried? I think she's been in while he's been with other women, and she just walked in and blamed it on Melody, in my opinion,
No,
allegedly.
I keep
that
going back
darn
to that
Melody.
interview that Alonda did with them, and somebody said that Alonda looks slow. The more you look at that interview, they something
She's
is off with
Martell's
her as
cousin.
well.
Oh God, you gonna
Well,
make me.
She is Martell's cousin
You
now.
She
gonna
is
make
legs,
Martell's
hips,
cousin.
and breasts is slow too.
you gonna make me. I'm about to say a prayer for the Eminem kids because they do have some of that hope blood in them. It
Oh,
Yeah,
might.
they
but it's the
Oh,
difference
Melody's
though.
overpowered that
Melody,
one.
oh
Melody
yes.
has them in therapy to deal with their issues.
Oh yes.
Mhm.
And as far as smarts, Those kids are
Oh
smart
yeah,
and intelligent already.
very
So,
much.
but yeah, thank God.
Yeah, I think he kind of, those kids are getting older, and you could kind of see that whatever grip, whatever he had on those
It's
kids,
loosening.
is slowly
Slipping
being
away.
loosened.
You
They
see it
are.
with Mariah.
Because
And
what he
protect,
did,
yes.
what he did to Mariah, when he
Hmm.
taped Mariah, that
Mm-hmm.
did something to that girl. That
It
did something to
did.
that little girl.
It sure
And
did.
then when you see how Boss Baby talked to him, it's lip gloss, Dad.
Oh, she gonna get him. That little
It's
Oh
girl
yeah,
lip
gonna get
gloss.
him.
And
boss
then he
baby
wanted
come.
that to be from, he wanted her to say, oh mom lets me wear it. But then she
Mm-hmm.
said, I got it from
Right.
grandma, and grandma must be was two shots to the wind. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby.
I
That's all she
I
could say. Yeah.
honestly,
I don't know if she had her three or
Blush.
four drinks, or 3 or 4 shots. I don't know what the deal was. But
Jasmine,
girlfriend,
Mm.
all
they
she
I
could
probably
say was,
kind
was.
of
yeah,
find
baby.
I
She
Yeah,
kind of
probably
baby.
found it.
pouring her Michelob Mad Dog
Yeah.
2020 Marlene. Y'all heard
What?
Well,
I kind of
she
I asked
must
her
be had a
that.
What's with the
cocktail mixed
laugh?
up like that, cause all she could say was, "Yeah, baby, grandma gave you that. Yeah, baby, it's
You
lip
you
gloss.
sound
Yeah,
just
yeah.
baby."
like her.
He
You sound just
Really, she
like
does.
Marlene.
he was anticipating her saying it came from Mel. What I
Yeah, he
thought was
wanted it to
very
be.
Oh, for sure.
what
For
what I
sure.
thought was very odd was that you didn't have anything to say after she said it's lip gloss, Dad. But you put up a whole entire post about a $3 chain, talking
Mm-hmm.
about we're not that type of people. And did your mother
Mm-hmm.
actually check this
Bullying
out before
Penny.
she bought it?
He's a walking contradiction. He had a whole baby in his marriage. So how he gonna talk about a value system? He don't
Yeah.
make no sense. You know what I'm saying? Like anything that he can take that Melody does and flip it and make it look like she's the bad guy,
And
he
do it.
gonna try to find a way to do it. But he don't realize your kids are gonna grow up.
When
Your
he said,
kids are gonna have common sense.
yep,
They're already seeing it.
Oh
And
yeah.
you know what somebody said in the chat? And I noticed it too. And I thought maybe I'm seeing stuff, but you know how you hear somebody else say it. So it's like maybe I'm not as crazy as I thought I was. When he was doing that live and he was making comments about that baby's feet, and then he was like saying all the other kids is beautiful, but he said Mariah was something else. I feel like that baby don't see him in the same light she used to see him, and she's
Of
seeing her
course not.
father for
preach,
who he really is, and that's a lot. I've
And a
been there. You
monster.
know, we all have been there. We all, as we've been children before, and we
Absolutely.
either realize our parents are human, which we all see, and that's just what it is. But then there's some moments for some people they look at their parent and they realize, you know what? You using me. You really using me as a chess piece, but you know you're not smart enough to do chess, so probably a tic-tac-toe piece to try to play with my mama. And I'm not for
yeah.
that. You know what I'm saying?
What
He just yeah, simply what you saying.
I was going to say, what was obvious about in that video is when he had to ask them what their shoe size was. I said, well, now we
Hmm.
know who buy their clothes and stuff. It's not you.
Right?
Well, it was clear, but it was clear in the scene when he drove over to Melody's house looking for something for the girls. My thing is, if you they dad and they live with you 7 days, you should
You
have
should have it.
everything that they need.
Hmm.
Why are you driving
Absolutely.
to their mother's house? And you're asking her for products of whatever. And then, as well as if Milani's going to move up because of her age or her ability to um speak or do whatever, she's more advanced. Okay, I'm pretty sure Mel already knew that. So why are you
Yep.
coming over to her house trying to have a conversation about Milani when I'm pretty sure Mel already knows that they were going to move her up because they let you know that they're going to move your child up. She's ready to be moved. So why you need to have a conversation, and why were you coming over there picking up items that you already have, since you're the dominant parent? If you the dominant parent, Ninja, why didn't you have the products? Why you coming over to Mel's house?
Can I
He
Right.
say,
didn't want the
can,
products because he didn't even take the
Ma'am.
bag.
Yeah.
He could have had that conversation over the phone.
Of
Something
course.
was it was
For
spiritual. It
sure.
was a spiritual aspect to that as well. I feel like they say I feel like it might have been custody papers as well, or type of agreement or
I
whatever it
think it
may have
was.
been.
I
But
would
I
think it
feel
was
like
MS wine and the custody
spiritually,
papers.
mm-hmm.
I feel like I don't know because he said something about them people off put me. A lot of people tend to forget like spirituality is a thing that happens in all the states, especially from our background and everything. But
Mhm.
in the South, they really do be, even in the North too. I can't even say that. They have people who deal with stuff, and people tend to think only women deal with certain things, or they do certain things. Men be doing that stuff too. And
Mhm.
like where I grew up, they say they put what, underwear under the bed to where they never leave the bedside, or they'll bury something. And for all we know too, he might have been looking at the layout at that house to see, how
Oh
can
yeah.
I enter in this home?
Of
How
course,
can
he
I
has a
do
criminal
this?
mind. He has a
He's
criminal
not,
mind.
he's an evil person. I don't like, I'm not, I know it's a TV show, y'all, but these are real people, and that's really their life. They really were married. They really got a divorce. Those are real children that they have together. And I
Mhm.
feel like the way he feels towards Melody is like a strong love hate. Like if he had her and she was to turn around and let her guard down and get back with him, he wouldn't treat her better. He would try to break her down
Yes.
further than he
Yes.
tried to do
Yes.
before. He
He
is
Sure.
did it
a
the first
sick
time when she left.
person. He looks like the way he laughs, and I'm proud of her because she has. I don't give a care what nobody say.
It's just
Um,
real.
Anonymous had broke it down. Like she had did a whole thing where she showed the tactics of how to deal with somebody when they gaslighting you, or when they trying to basically
Mhm.
overstep your boundaries. And
Mhm.
Melody was clicking every single box, especially when it came to that vacation. Right? He is something ain't, how do I say this? He's smart in all the areas that is not good. Like he's dumb when it comes to business, but he's smart when it comes to being mischievous. He real smart when it comes to trying to make somebody look bad. He real smart when it comes to getting together and trying to pull a group together to try to tear somebody down. But the funny thing about what them idiots don't get, and a lot of them may not be reading a lot of comments, and I guess they don't really know how to read a room. They're getting to a point where even people that don't mess with Melody is seeing that these people are consistently having her name in their mouths. And they're
Mhm.
starting to look at them sideways and trying to understand, why are they talking about this woman who's not even bothered with them? And what they're
Mhm.
trying to do is turning around and backdoing and going back on them. I'm
Yeah.
just like, it's so many levels to this show. Like, it just, to me, it's just like, oh, it's
It
But
weird.
you know what they don't understand? When you have a relationship with God, when you have a relationship with God, He give you a
Mhm,
discerning spirit, and He do not let His children walk to anything unknowingly.
Mhm.
mhm,
Now, see, Mel don't know the plots, but you know what? That the plots and the schemes that they're trying to uh, conjure up,
yeah.
but sooner or later, she be 5 steps ahead of them.
Mhm.
They still be at the starting gate. They don't understand that. And in the words of Nee Links, you never win
When you
when you
play
play
dirty.
When you
dirty.
playing dirty.
And
Can
then
I?
and what Big Frida said, Mel did not come to play with you hoes.
Can
She
I
is
ask
not
y'all a
playing with y'all
question?
no
You
more.
know what I
She
think
done
real
took
quickly,
four
guys?
years. She done
Yeah.
took 4 years of it. When
Oh
she
yeah,
had on her war suit at that reunion, that was a war suit at that reunion.
it was
Yes,
her.
She
ma'am.
didn't stumble. She didn't stutter. She said what she said, and she meant what she said. What did she tell Destiny? Cool as a cucumber. Say it.
Mhm.
And what did
Yep.
she say
She
to
sure did.
Martell?
You
Marceau,
know,
hips, thighs, and legs, breast, hips, or whatever she said.
body yada.
And then when Tisha was telling her, "Oh, your soul so black, you got a black heart." How did Mel sat up there just as regal? Go ahead on, baby, and vent. You
She
feeling
laughed in
better
her
now? And
You
face.
that's
know
what
what else
pissed them
that
off.
what else I like about Mel is, and I think that this probably helps her to see things that she may not have seen, is she has the support of YouTubers and people on Instagram and all of that. And when we
Hmm.
watch the show, we watch the show. You know what I'm saying? And
Yep.
with her having open dialogue with YouTubers and watching videos, or people may share it to her, I think that that helps Mel as well to really see. Now she see what these people are about, but to really see what a lot of us see, that's really underhanded and the hate and all of that. So I think that that's a good thing. The other cast members, they don't care for us because we do call it out. And like you
Mhm.
just said, people that were once for them, they see now. Like, wait, this is a bit much. That's all I saw on Twitter last night. Like, come on
Yeah.
now. Everybody is talking about Mel. It's too much.
Well,
Mhm.
I have to admit, I think Anonymous gave her the legs, hips, and breast
I was thinking
analysis
that.
You did.
because I
You
was
So
the
did.
first one to say that Marceau and Wanda were wearing girdles on
uh-huh.
the late night cap,
Mm-hmm.
and I said he was a hermaphrodite.
You
So
did.
thank
Mhm.
you.
Yeah, you said that.
Yeah.
I did. So thank you, Melody. You are my sorority sister. I appreciate you.
But
Anonymous
Well,
has
that's
given you the
good.
legs, hips, and breast. Yes.
But he
That's
must be there
Martell,
understand what
honey.
she said, because he after she said it, he looked confused.
Because it went
mhm.
right
He
over his
I think she
head.
should
You
get a
looked
shirt called
embarrassed.
legs, hips, and breast equals girdles. That's
Yeah.
Tisha
what.
looked confused as well.
Tisha
she,
looked confused too, like what?
she sure did.
Oh.
Like
Do
like
I have the
what she
picture?
say?
Can you chit chat with QT? Can you find the picture that Marcel took where his boobs were
We're hanging.
drooping in the red?
I
Ugh.
remember.
Mm.
You got to go to Keisha
I
page.
will search right now. You guys keep
That's when he's
chatting.
on that boat.
But
Put some
Yeah,
emojis
get the
over his
boat.
No,
nipples.
you
Oh
got to
yeah,
go.
Martell is
we
going
on
to
the
Martell
boat.
is, when all this stuff is over with, Martell is going to be
Mhm.
just like the picture that was on that magazine, because see, Coleslaw, she already is looking like that. She looks terrible, so disgusted with life. I'm like, and bored. She don't want to be there with them kids. Martell don't
No.
want to spend no time with her. He
Mm,
just leave her sitting on the couch, and she
yep,
like, how do
that's
I
what
get
it
myself
is.
out of this situation?
Can I say
Look,
something I thought when I look at them? God, like really, y'all. And if I'm going too far, y'all say, really back in. But I really think about them too. They give me snap vibes, and I don't think they're gonna be able to
Absolutely,
hurt Melody.
sure.
But I feel like what's
absolutely.
gonna happen is
They're gonna hurt
Melody
each
is already
other.
gonna cut him off. She gonna end up getting married, being happy. She already
Mm,
happy. The happiness is not a connection to a marriage that she's gonna have in the future. She already attained that happiness, but she's gonna move all the way on. You understand what I'm saying? Like it's gonna
mhm,
be like for anyone trying to question it or trying to doubt the growth that she has, it's gonna be evident, right? He's not gonna have any access to her at all. And what's gonna happen is it's gonna be one day on a Sunday or a Monday, and he's gonna be looking at this girl and he's gonna be like, you effed my whole life up. And he can't take
Hmm.
accountability for nothing. He can't
mhm.
turn
Right.
around and say, if it wasn't for me messing with her in the first place or not giving her game and talking to her, we wouldn't have
He
had gotten
already
this
been
far.
telling her that
He
though.
gonna hurt her, or
He
she
But
gonna
he
will.
hurt
already.
him.
She said he put all the blame on her. He
Oh
already
yeah.
doing that.
I'm
If you
telling you, it's
guys
gonna
go
go
back,
away.
I titled a couple videos. Martell, you in danger, as well as Coleslaw. She's in danger
Yeah.
Hmm.
because he's going to resent her. See, right? He probably already does,
He
but
does.
it may possibly turn, like you just said, being real in that way.
Give me
Once
that
he can
vibe.
no longer put on this act that he's okay and he got something going on. Once he really settles in what he lost and where he is, allegedly in his mama's basement and all of that, he's gonna lose it. And I hope it
He
doesn't
is.
happen, but I totally agree. I totally
Yeah.
agree.
Well, you can kind of tell he resents that baby a little bit, and it kind of
I
Ooh,
wanted to say that.
it
Yes.
showed up in that confessional last night when he was like, "Well,
my
I
kid.
had to tell her because my children was around my son," and I was like,
Yeah,
"Why are
Mm-hmm.
you
yeah,
separating them?"
yeah.
Because there's
Right.
a
Said
difference in
that
his
too.
mind.
Coleslaw said that before too. She said Martell has 4 kids, and whoever was in the room with her said 5. Well, no, I'm talking about 4 outside of mine. She's still only acknowledging that the man has 4 kids. It's not natural. The baby is here. The baby is innocent, but it seems forced with Martell. It's
And
almost
Right.
That's
like
well,
terrible,
I'm
though.
training this
And
kid.
Mo
you can
Right.
tell that he's forcing that boy on the other 4
For
because
making them
Absolutely. And I
babysit.
when
cannot
I watched
stand
that
it.
video of them in the restaurant, you
Uh,
Yes.
can see the annoyance on Mariah's face.
yes.
Yes,
Cause she
Because
yes.
I
babysat
looked
him.
at I side eyed Martell when he was like, "Be nice," and I was like, "Be nice? How about sit your ass down?"
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Like Come
Do
on,
y'all?
like he's literally stepping on her. How about sit his
Yes.
ass down?
Did you
Do
see her
y'all remember?
push him over the tank?
Yep.
Did you see her push him over the tank?
Yep.
Because she was
Mm-hmm.
looking like if you don't sit your, you know what, down, and he's sitting there and he's talking about, well, I got to keep control of this. No, he's running through the whole table. You ain't said nothing. You
Call
ain't
him
said nothing.
knucklehead. Did y'all remember? I think it was last Thanksgiving, not this one that just passed, but last year.
Mm-hmm.
Mariah used to love her. Well, she still love him, but she used to be up on the Martell so bad that he
Yep.
Yeah.
would have to be like, Mariah, let me breathe. It was like she was sticking to him like glue, but she's not doing that now.
Not
Because
at all.
she had that
He
conversation with
offended
her
her.
mama.
He offended her when he secretly taped her.
Mm,
That offended that girl, offended that child, and it hurted her feelings.
mm-hmm.
Dad, why would you question me like this? Dad, why would you do this? And then, this child, I believe, had to talk that out with her therapist because I really believe that hurted her. I believe that she
Mm-hmm.
went and said something to Melody. Melody may not have said anything to Martell about it. However, by the kids, doing therapy, it hurted her. And I watched that also when they was in the Cheesecake Factory for Tank birthday. How
Hmm.
she
Yeah.
shot, how she was just sitting back like, I'd be so glad when it's time to go to mom's house. And
Because
and
You.
then
if you notice, she's kind of more under Mel now.
Yep.
When
Yes.
her and Mel had that conversation in the car, she basically was beaming when Mel said, "You're just like me." It was like that's all she wanted to hear. I'm just like my mom.
Y'all think about this because I thought this. The reason why Martell, just like the reason why Marceau doesn't want the people they're connected to go to therapy is because you don't know that you're being manipulated or mentally abused, physically or emotionally abused until an actual therapist tells you this is what's happening and they teach you how to combat it. The same way like how Melody was basically like putting her hand up, blocking all his moves during the lunch and all that
Right.
stuff like that. And I feel like that baby girl, because the recording all that stuff happened after that. He dropped that after they had went on that vacation, right? But he had already recorded prior to that. That might have been a little bit, that was the ice tip of the iceberg. But what I'm saying is I feel like when she started going to therapy, and when you're at a certain age and you truly comprehend what's going on, and they're very intelligent children,
Mm-hmm.
I feel like she was looking and she realized, oh my God, I am being manipulated. My father is not such a great person. He's using me again as a move to get back at my mom. And then it makes you questions the motives of everything that he does now. You looking at him and you're wondering, is this really intent? Like, is this his true intention? Is he really there for me? Is he really here for me because he loves me? Or is he doing this because he wants to get back at my mom? He missed her birthday, all these other things that happened that she remembers. Not the people, the other little kids may not remember because they were little bitty babies, even during the time when he didn't let her get any of the stuff out of both of the houses and they had to sleep on the mattress. She may have went through something that clicked in her mind and made her think and replay all those moments and all those things. And then she realized when it came to the scale of what was going on, the
Hmm.
bad weighed out more than the good, you know? And there was
Yeah.
nothing that anyone could cover him from that because that was just the veil that was being lifted from her eyes and the reality that she was seeing. And that's the reason why he don't want them kids to go to no therapy, because he
Exactly.
don't want them to know that he is using them and he is manipulating them, and
Mm-hmm.
he is the one that's a lazy dad. He's not a great dad. He's not as what he's chalked up to be. Because one thing I'll say about Melody, and we've seen it on since season one, even when she wasn't in good standing with Martell, she would still get on that dog on stage. She would still be a good wife and still shout a man out that wasn't deserving of a shout out. She would still try to make it seem like he was doing more than what he was doing. And it makes you think how much she was putting up with in that household and
Yes.
how much she was covering, not because she was fake. See, this is what people tend to forget, because sometimes when we've never been in that space, in that place, and we've never had those emotions, we don't understand where someone's coming from. When you have never come from a household where your father was present and you've
Right.
made a deal with somebody that you was going to build a foundation with them, not only you're talking about the professional aspect of it, but you're thinking about your kids, and you're thinking about how other people may perceive y'all. So you want to seem like you're a unit, right? So you're going to
Correct.
do everything to protect that unit. You're not fake. You're a mama.
That's
You're a
right.
wife.
And
She's
a
a
You're
mom.
trying to do
protector.
your job.
And
She
a
was
Everything
a
that
mom.
he should have
protector.
been doing for
Oh,
her.
true.
You know what I'm saying? So she was doing that for so long, and I find her still doing it sometimes. Like
Mhm.
she does try to cover him in a way, but I see him for what he is, and I think that babies see him for what he is as well.
Yeah.
But you know
Yeah.
what?
Give me,
As you
give me
said
one
that,
second, ladies. Give me 1 second. Let me
Okay.
add Cheryl. Cheryl Howard, is this you?
Yes. Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Thank
Hello,
you for
Cheryl.
ladies. How you
joining
hi
guys?
us.
Cheryl.
You.
Good. How
And
you
real
doing?
quickly, we have 637 people watching. Please make sure to like the video, guys. I think my likes are pretty low. It is free. Like the video, please. And being real, to your point about the kids, real quickly.
Mm-mm.
Um, the day is going to come, and we know it. Now, they're going to love their dad, but the day is going to come where they're going to have a conversation with him as far as what he did to their mother. So
Yep.
Martell thinks that he's so strict and he's this disciplinarian and all of that. Once those kids get in, I'll say high school, freshman year, I'll give them that. The questions are going to come, and he's not prepared for that. You know, he's a snake, and he thinks that he's a charmer and he can charm everybody, and that's not going to work with those kids,
Not at all.
especially those older, the oldest two, Tank and Mariah. Mariah,
She
I was shocked to learn that she just turned 10. I thought she was at least 12. That's how
I did
mature she is.
too.
so tall,
Yes,
yeah.
she's very mature, intelligent, and all of that. And
Mm-hmm.
they will learn the truth of everything that happened, how this baby was just dropped in their lap. They'll learn all of that. And I just wonder what this man is going to say.
Well, this is
But
the
it
sad thing. I was going to tell you guys. They got to be very careful with a malignant narcissist or a narcissistic sociopath. When they get threatened, they become vengeful and attackful. I think one thing that Melody is doing, as well as her family unit, is helping them with therapy on how to put the safeguards up and how to deal with someone of dangerous character like this. It's sad though, but people who are these type of narcissists, you can't get in a fight with them. It's very delicate. I think with Melody, what she's going to do with her kids, which is smart, is she's going to have them respect him even though he has a mental illness.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
I think they'll do what she's doing, put the guards up, put the boundaries up. When they get like 12 or 13, they don't have to, depending on what jurisdiction they're in, go to visit him,
Exactly.
even though it's a
That's
court
true.
order. If they don't want to go and they don't feel comfortable, they can end it, which is
Yep.
ending the supply to the narcissist. So I think they'll probably do that more so. They'll just keep their distance. Kind of like, and I'll tell you why. It's similar to what Melody does with her own father.
Mm.
She doesn't really have much of a connection with him. Remember when Marcus tried to ask her to go call her father? She didn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I think there were some things that her father did to her mother that was probably inappropriate, similar to how Martell does to her. And she's kind of working that therapy. But yeah, the difficulty is if these kids go after him, he's going to take the rage on them to get that power, get that dominance back. So I think you're just going to see when they get to 10 or 12 or they're in teenage years, they're just going to end supply, keep their distance from him. And that's the better way to handle it because he's not well at all.
Not at all.
At all. And
But
he's
you
He's a
know
dealing with
what?
the
predator.
demons of his father and his mother.
Yeah.
with
But
what
when
he
you
experienced
think
in his childhood.
Uses those kids, their names, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, but
Because
they
that's
always
all
do
he
that.
has to hold on to. I'm a dad, I'm a dad, I'm a dad, a great
Yeah,
dad, and this and that. And they're gonna see through that. I want the kids to love their dad in spite of, as long as he's not, well, I can't even say that because allegedly he was with Tank. But he just won't be able to sugarcoat it with them. They are going to be armed with what they need, especially with them being in therapy. They're going to be able to ask him all the right questions. They're going to know if he's bullshitting them with the answers, all of that.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think Martell thinks he's so smart. He's not prepared for that, and it's coming. But I'm
yeah,
You
sorry,
know, so.
yeah. I'm
real
just
quick.
But he
saying
got his mama. But he got his mama, and his mama is always gonna tell him. But you a good man, baby. You a
Yeah,
good
Mm,
man, baby.
yeah,
You a good father, baby. You a good provider, baby. She got to keep. She gonna keep Martell at a 12-year-old level
yeah,
by
yes,
lying to him.
yeah,
It's
When she
mm,
should have been, she couldn't stop him from doing what he was doing, but she could have told him, well, everybody make mistakes, baby. You just got a baby. That's what every man just go out there and do, have an affair on his wife and then have a baby. You,
She doing
you,
that
you,
out of guilt. That's all guilt.
yeah, you know what? I'm gonna tell you something. I was not in her position, but believe it or not, I used to be in the streets. Not like in the streets,
mhm,
just in the streets. And I
mm,
used to do some things. I went to prison, and when I got out of prison, my daughter had to go to therapy when I got out of prison. My
mhm,
mom took her to therapy, and I got myself together, and I worked, and I just used to buy my daughter, just buy my kids, my daughter, my son. And I think my daughter was in the seventh grade, and my daughter told me, she said, "Ma, I know you love me." She said, "You cannot make up for the time that you was doing what you were doing. All you could do
mm,
is just start from where we are now and continue. You don't have to buy me all this stuff. You don't have to do all these things that you're doing. I just appreciate you just even being here, wanting to do that." So,
wow.
trying, and my daughter, by her going to therapy, and that hurted my heart so bad when my daughter, she was telling me that, but I was trying to overcomfort. I was trying to compensate for the time that I wasn't there, for the time that I did not spend with my daughter and my son. And when she told me that, I said, well, damn, who is the mom and who is the child? Because I learned something from my daughter. She cannot make up for the past. The past is gone. That's what the past is. The past is like you're behind. You don't walk looking at your butt. You looking forward. So if whatever she didn't do for Martell when Martell was a child, if you didn't do it as a child, you can't do it now. Yeah,
mhm.
baby. Yeah, baby. That's hindering him. That's stifling him.
You telling the
And,
truth?
she's doing it. I don't know if he's paying her bills. I don't know what he's doing. I don't know if she's afraid of him. Allegedly, this is just me talking. But at some point in his life, somebody must be never told Martell no.
Well, you
True.
remember his uncle when they were in the field. You remember how his uncle called him out and told him that he was very arrogant. That when he
Mm-hmm.
began to play ball and everybody recognizes his skills, that he became very arrogant. So I believe, you know, how in school when you're dealing with athletes, some of them they're dumb, you know, and they just like fly by to let them, you know, pass. I believe Martell has been arrogant all his life, and everybody has catered to that arrogance. I believe that because you could tell his mom doesn't know what to do with him. All she always loved to say is, "Oh, you right, son. You a good man." No, he's not a good man, and stop telling him that. Like that's why he think he's a good man because you keep telling him that. He's not a good man. He's done hurt, he's done damage, he's done so much. It brings me to the thought of those children. When he introduced those children, did you just throw that child on them?
Yeah.
make them feel
Yeah.
like they have to accept him. It's
Mm.
like you did not sit down and you did not have a conversation. It was just like, well, I'm going to get your dad, your brother, and here he go. And it's like,
Keonta,
for
and I'm sorry, Keonta. Let me just acknowledge Cheryl.
okay,
Cheryl, I know you had dropped down and you are back. I am so sorry for keeping you waiting. Thank you so much for joining us. Are you there, Cheryl? Cheryl? Okay, she has her mic muted. Okay, I'm sorry, Keonta. I just wanted to acknowledge Cheryl because she had been up there for a while. But go
oh,
ahead.
it's okay. No,
Mm.
I was just saying it just makes me think of how he introduced those children to that child.
Yeah.
And you got to think about that because even when you go back to season 3, was it season 3 or season
Yeah.
2 when Melanie sat down with that lady Ima, and remember Ima asked, "Who would you prefer to live with?" Tank and Mariah both said Melody. And then Boss Baby said Ice Cream Boy. So from that, it began to let me know, it began to let me know then that Martell was doing a lot to those children then, even when it came to Mariah, when Melanie said Mariah's very reserved, you could tell that Tank and Mariah have seen so much with Martell. So instantly, when I seen that scene, it was like, Martell, you've been doing dirt. You've been hurting Melanie too. I'm not gonna put
Hmm.
that on you because I don't know, but I believe that you done put hands on her, and those children have seen it, especially Tank, because Tank
Allegedly.
don't
Allegedly.
allegedly Tank does not let Melody out of his eyes. If you notice during that trip, he was right there. He was
Yeah.
always right there watching him.
That's true.
That's so sad. He said, I don't want to do nothing to hurt the kids. Man, you done hurted your kids to a degree that you don't even know.
He doesn't even realize it.
He
You
don't realize, he don't realize and then when you say Mel is a bad mother, but you got somebody over here 5 o'clock in the morning, child eating popsicle, then he eat that popsicle, you give him another popsicle, he
know.
coughing his guts out, can't hardly breathe, but you still on live, talk about my son was gonna go on a vacation, but they was filming. Girl, if they were gonna pay my son to go on that trip and he was gonna get a little check, here, his bag's already paid.
That's the only
But we
reason
know
why.
that, and we know that was a lie.
Mhm.
We knew that was a lie. So everybody on this show who is doing anonymous, until you do right by me,
Every
Mm.
everything you touch, because everything you done did to me is already done to you.
Mhm.
So they might as well, it's just sad that they don't see what they're doing to themselves. You're
Mhm.
not hurting Mel by no fault, by no means at all are you hurting Mel.
Not
You're
at all.
digging a hole for
For
yourself.
yourself. That's so true.
Because if anybody, business wise, if these was true business people, there's just some things I would not do. There's just some things I would not say. And as a man, I would never be on TV arguing with a woman.
Speak.
And if I done went to
So true.
college and done got 5 or 6 degrees, oh baby, better believe I'm using 3 of them.
Mhm.
Right.
That's true. Now let
And
me ask
when
Cheryl again. I'm sorry, Maritha.
go ahead.
Cheryl Howard, are you back
Hi,
there? I just
hi. How you doing?
okay.
Hey.
Hello.
Hi,
Want to
ladies.
make
How y'all
sure it wasn't
doing?
a troll.
Good.
Hello.
Happy holidays. Happy
Happy
holidays.
holidays.
Happy
Happy holidays
holiday.
to you.
Happy holidays.
Oh
What's
God,
your thoughts, Cheryl, on what's
Lord, this
the discussion?
penny stinking, penny loafing, tight pants wearing. What is he popping up at? Do he
Not the
understand that?
brown loafers.
Lord Jesus, have mercy. And you know what? He had no right to tell Arion nothing because,
Thank you.
for one thing, that little boy don't have COVID. He got some kind of respiratory problem or something because that boy is still sick to this day. So I don't know what the hell she talking about.
Mm.
And then another thing with some of these people saying, Mel should have let him in. Who paying her mortgage? Is anybody paying her mortgage? That's her property. If she got every right to not to say to tell Martell he can't come in. That's her property. So I don't know where some of these people are coming from with this. She should have let Martell in. How they
You know
figure?
what? And I didn't mean to cut you off, but real quickly, she may have let him in based on what he said. Hey, I let you into my house. We were cordial. After that, we went to Destin. That was okay. But fool,
But that's
you
his
had the
house.
whole sad chick on the internet. Like Mel said, you put a battery in her back. She
Yeah,
said all of this, and you think you're about to come in my house.
exactly.
Exactly.
He ain't got to say nothing. He still ain't coming in.
Yeah.
As the song said, keep it knocking, but you can't come in. So he need to go somewhere and find Sheree or do something with himself because I'm sick of Martell. Just
Now, wait a
plain
minute,
sick of him.
Cheryl.
Yes.
Cheryl, is this prosperity?
No.
You're not prosperity, are you?
No, I'm Cheryl.
You sound just like prosperity. Well,
Oh yeah, I like
Yes.
prosperity.
Yes, you guys got the same dialect. I'm like, now wait a minute, is this prosperity? Okay, Cheryl, I'm sorry.
Oh, thanks. That's a compliment. Thanks. I like her, but
Yeah.
with his stinking penny loafing ass, where he just go. Oh God, and Ariane, she need to do something. She need to do something with herself because she's just so brainless and she's just so empty headed.
He's lost.
Everybody making money off her likeness. What likeness? She got no likeness. She talking about she the cream of the crop. She the cream of the ops. I don't know what she's talking about. Come on now. She need to go somewhere and sit down too.
She
They
weird, bro.
put them all in the basement with Billy. Put them all in there. Put them in there. You
All
know?
of them.
Ariana's weird. You know what's weird to me is that Wanda wanted
Wow.
to put on that live. She was trying to get on there with Ariana, and she tried to backdoor and lie and say she wasn't on that girl's live, but she was on that girl's live commenting and stuff. Wanda's a liar real bad. Like she got a problem.
Yeah, because
Like
she
she
did
need to
say it
drink some
wasn't
holy
her.
water.
Right, but does
But
she know
Mhm.
anybody? Does she know anybody her own age? Why is she
not only
dealing with these
that, but
young
why
women?
are you trying to put a woman on that was talking about your daughter and saying how
Yeah,
she knew where her husband was sleeping with this person and messing with
Exactly.
that? I would
yeah.
never, ever, if anybody said something about my child that was not favorable and was trying to throw my kid or trying to mess up the union that they have, you talking about Melody trying to mess your union up. We already know Letitia ain't all the way there because she going off on the wrong person who didn't even make the original statement and said that they were right there when the man was cheating on her. So she
Mm-hmm.
already focuses her energy on the wrong sources.
Mm-hmm.
You allegedly buying outfits from the girl's store, doing
What?
all this stuff. Dummy, you really something wrong with them.
Child.
This how I know they evil because you're willing to stoop down and be with other enemies just so y'all can get a common place. Just like she said, I think it was at Chit Chat. I think that was your video. You was talking about how y'all was talking about it was either Chit Chat or somewhere they were talking about how she was sitting in that thing and talking about how a common enemy can bring people together. And like I
Mhm.
said,
Yeah,
people have a
Tisha said,
tendency to
yeah.
project.
Mhm. Mhm.
She does that. Tisha does that. That's why she's friends with Destiny. That's why she's friends with Martell, because Martell was the one who initially made that comment. But for her
Mm-hmm.
mama to sit up there on the live talking about how she want to get Ari on there, and I seen her because I looked on Arion's live, and I've even seen on the other lives, and they, people, how y'all content creators, y'all repost the videos.
Wow.
She's in there. Her behind lied. But I mean, think about this. Wanda even lied about cooking food, y'all. Who
I
lied
know.
about making? If you gonna own it, just own it. You be mess. You was the one that was on Thanksgiving showing that soup of macaroni and cheese and saying it's some good stuff.
And the
You
chicken
was you
tastes
Mm.
was
like
you was
wood.
boasting about it, but because people turned around and said they didn't like that, and they said what you got on this page.
Hmm.
Now all of a sudden you want to turn around and disown it. If you gonna lie about
Child.
something that simple. My
Yeah.
papa always used to tell me if someone lies about something small, you really got to question
Mm-hmm.
everything
That's
else that
Mm-hmm.
they'll lie about. Because
Mm-hmm.
what's the need to lie about something like that?
That's
Just,
And
so true.
she's weird, bro.
and
They're
Letitia
all
calling
weird,
somebody a devil. She calling Mel the devil. She married to the devil. What's
right?
she talking about?
Facts. Hey,
Yeah.
and let me say hi real quick, guys, to all the content creators that I saw. But right now, I do see Aunt Ann. Hello.
Hi,
Tim.
Hey.
Aunt Ann.
Hi, on in.
Hey,
I've been
Aunt
hearing
Ann.
she was going off, man. Woo,
Mm-hmm. She's
Jesus.
telling it hot.
Yeah, Aunt Ann, I got to check that video out. I heard about it, so I'm on my way as soon as we finish this live. But Taylor, Tay Baby Hogan, thank you so much for the super chat. And she put coleslaw is Herschel Walker, long lost daughter. Lordy be. Make you favorite.
Wow. Oh, God.
That's
Make
a
you
good one.
favorite.
That's a good one.
But being
I call him Herschel Marshall because his mind is a marshmallow.
he's a menace.
That was a good one.
Back off of what you just said, being real. I only saw some of Wanda's live from the other night.
It
She
was a
tried
mess.
to say that it wasn't her
It
and
was a
Coleslaw.
mess. It was a
It was
mess.
a hot. And
It
then she
was a
said
mess.
maybe it was my niece. My niece may have gotten on and she may have typed something. So yeah, it was filled with
Just
lies.
lying. And
It
then
was.
was telling on them people. We didn't know Marceau went there for only 3 days.
That's a
It was
He
lie.
said
because of
30
her. And
days.
she was opening up saying stuff. And then you know how much of a hater she is? She had to find a way to say something about Melody. She just had to with her
Of
raggedy
course.
self.
Of course.
And she up there saying, well, my kids got real businesses. We don't know, baby. All we know they got is a lawsuit, Shay. That's all we know about them. Now we know
Exactly.
Melody got legitimate businesses and they all repeat themselves, but I guess because they lie so much, they think that they will manifest a reality off of those lies. Maybe in another alternate universe this is happening. But right now where we're at, Melody actually has businesses that are real, and y'all the ones that's going around playing cosplay. They remind me of when I used to go to my auntie house, right? And we used to go and walk up the street and pretend we were going to the movie store, like going to the movie theater with our little fake money, and me and my cousins, and we just pretending. You know what I'm saying? They right here really engrossed in the storyline. They done made up all on their own. That's not even based in reality.
And
They're really like
Yeah.
off.
I hear Melody got something for Destiny on this reunion.
I hope
Some
she
I hope
do.
stuff is
so.
gonna come out. I hope
I
so.
hope she do. Oh, I hope she do so bad.
Hmm.
It's just awful the way that these people are. And then I tried to stomach some of that live. Well, Wanda started her own page and stuff like that, and she said, "Coleslaw, let's do lunch." And when she said, "Let's go to Chick-fil-A,"
Ugh.
Mm.
girl,
Mm.
I thought you was
Hmm.
finna say, "Let's go." I don't do Olive Garden. I don't do Red Lobster. I don't do those places. I thought she was gonna talk where you could go and sit down, have a drink, enjoy it, soak up the ambiance, and she was talking about going through the drive-through at Chick-fil-A.
And Coleslaw, she's
Ugh.
another,
Not you.
and Coleslaw is another Marlene because she lets that little boy do whatever he want to do. He pinches uh, Paris and smacks her, pulls her hair. She lets him do whatever
Yeah.
he wants. She's she's a younger version of Marlene.
Yeah,
Okay,
She
and
guys,
mean.
real quickly, while we were talking, I looked up the flight time from Huntsville to South Africa,
Hmm.
31 hours and
Phew.
41 minutes.
Child.
That's
So he
including,
went there to go back?
yeah. So we all knew who's
The
gonna go to
hell?
South Africa just for 3 days.
That
Um,
don't even make like
that
Marlo
what?
don't
said
make
he was
no
there for
sense.
30 days.
and that's the quickest trip because they have to make 2 stops. They have to refuel and all of that.
Mm,
So the
he lying.
31 was the quickest, but the other flights are 37 hours.
He
So
lying. He
how
was.
is that possible, Wanda?
Thank you.
So
But
what he did was he
uh,
flew to Africa. He stepped off the plane. He smelled the fresh. He smelled the African air.
And
Turned
was out of
around and
there.
got back on the plane.
exactly.
Right?
Out of there.
He said he was there 30
Hilarious.
days. He said 30
Thank
days he
you,
was there.
Yvette, for the super sticker. Thank you.
Somebody was saying something about people, the creators, still staying in the past and talking about stuff that happened. But see, this is the thing that gets me. If you have that logic, then you should turn around and tell her daughter needs to drop the logic of trying to reason why she has a
And I know
problem with
exactly which
Melody.
one of them said that because I was on there when she said it.
Yeah, and she's like, you need to,
I know
y'all need to,
exactly
they
which one
always
you
act
talking
like
about.
Melody can't meet no wrong. I really am starting to sympathize with some of these people. And maybe my sympathy, should not even be given to these people. But you know what I'm starting to think? I'm starting to think these are some people with no boundaries. They let people disrespect the heck out of them. They let people talk to them any type of way, play in their face. Because for you to be seeing the things that be happening on that screen and for you to still try to find some rationale as to why they move the way they move and still have an issue with Melody, either you're one, a hater, two, delusional, or maybe
All the above.
three, all of them above.
Mm-hmm.
Because it ain't making no sense to me. It
Number
really ain't making none.
number two, ding ding ding. That's the right answer. Hate.
I see Kimmy and Sheree hanging together, huh? In black. I said, oh God, the two biggest bone collectors there is,
Mm-hmm.
Sheree
Yes.
and Kimmy.
But you
Yeah.
know what? I think with this illness with Kimmy, it's hitting her kind of different about being a bone collector. Okay, now what we saw was like in the past, like
Mm-hmm.
before, but when she kind of stood, I'm still not giving her a pass. I'm
Mm-hmm.
not giving her a pass
Mm-hmm.
because she said no, it wasn't Mel, it was Martell that said it.
Yeah, I heard her
And I
say
feel
that.
like when you're going through anything as dramatic as what she's going through, it should give you a different outlook on life. Some things
Yep.
just ain't worth,
So, do you think
you
she's
know,
Mel's friend?
no, 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 no. I'm not saying that. I never said that. I'm not saying she's male friend because you know what? The grass has been cut real low now, and all the snakes are out.
Mm-hmm. Telling
All the
you.
snakes are out, and eventually because Kimmy said it in the what first or second reunion. If she wasn't married to Maurice, her and Tisha wouldn't even be running in the
Mm.
same circle.
Yeah, I
Did.
heard her say that. I heard her say that.
Sure
They
did.
wouldn't be friends. She said
Mm-hmm.
because it's exhausting being her
Mm-hmm.
friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you know what?
So
It was admirable to me when Tisha
Mhm.
was trying to start crap sitting at Maurice's and Kimmy's house, and Kimmy redirected the conversation. So this is when Tisha was talking about. This is when Marceau, right before he started talking about leveling up and all of that. As
Oh,
soon as
please.
Tisha started talking, it was about Mel and Sheree, and she wondered what Martell and all of that. And Kimmy did move the conversation. So I
Mm,
think,
okay.
you know, just with this personal situation that she's going through health wise, I think that she maybe, hopefully, is trying to get back to that
Mm-hmm.
because, that's how she was in the earlier seasons.
Right. I
And I
did like
think they
her at
Mhm.
had,
first. I did like
yeah,
her at first, you know.
I think they had a pal. I liked her because she just stood up for what was right, it seemed,
Mm-hmm.
no
That's
matter
right.
what. But
Yeah.
they
and but
had
then
a powwow
you see how and I think she was shading Tisha when she thanked Mel for not, not getting upset because she didn't
there.
come to, certain things, and you
Yes,
not
ma'am.
bothering her, and pretty much just saying, thank you for just, being there without even being there, for not pestering me,
Right.
because when you go to chemo or whenever you go through whatever treatment she go through, I've seen it. It's draining. It
Yeah.
takes a
Mm-hmm.
lot out of
Mhm.
them,
Yeah.
and they need their energy for the next round that's coming up. And
Mhm.
so,
Mm-hmm.
she just thanking Mel, for being that type of friend. I know you here. If I really need you, I know I can pick up the phone and you're here.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for not getting bent out of shape because I couldn't attend something. Thank
Mhm.
you for not constantly calling me on the phone, you know. And I believe that's what Tisha was doing. Hey girl, what's going
Oh
on?
gosh. She was
Yes.
like,
I'm
Shows
just
how immature Tisha is because that's how she's acting. Now, I don't expect her to be down and sad and crying with Kimmy, but you have to understand what she's faced with.
mm-hmm.
And Kimmy's response to Mel was totally different
Mm-hmm.
than her response to Destiny.
Mm-hmm.
Destiny
hmm
said, if you need me, I'll be here. She was looking like, no, I'm good, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. She was saying, I don't know how to ask. I don't really know how to ask for help. She was saying, "Girl, bye."
No, thank you.
Yeah,
Exactly.
or pop up, be a real friend. I don't need to ask you something that doesn't need to be asked for. You should already want to provide that for me, being that you say you supposedly care for me.
Exactly.
But she's just there. Destiny is a
Oh
um
God, trifling,
she a loser, bro. Like, I'm not trying to be mean. Like, let's be real,
trifling.
real quick. I'm gonna lay it out like that. Stormy's a loser. God
Exactly.
forgive me. That's on me. Now, this is on me. I'm saying it from my opinion. This
I
how
agree.
allegedly,
I agree.
allegedly. But when you sitting up there, Stormy, begging for somebody to be your friend, you know what it gave me the vibe of? Remember when we was in school, y'all, and they have that one kid who being picked on somebody, and they want to try to make that person that's the bully be their friend, and
Hmm.
they think that if they get some type of connection with them, then all of a sudden that's going to change their life or something like that. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Like, sometimes
Hmm.
people look up to the bully. That's what
Hmm.
Stormy gave me the vibe of, because I don't know how you can look at the way that these people move and see how they jumped on one person. Either that or she real scary and she's like, I don't want to be on their bad side and they pull out something from my past, so I'd rather be on this side. And I know
Hmm.
Melody gonna be quiet and she not gonna throw nothing on me, so I might as well just go on the side that's gonna, you know what I mean? Because I don't know if they know how they're being perceived or if they have the wherewithal to really truly
Okay.
understand, but
Mm-hmm.
they really not doing themselves any favors with the
No.
way that they're moving. The way they're
No.
moving is not really beneficial to them nor the brand that they have. And can we talk about the people that associate themselves with them as well? The
Mm.
ones that from other reality shows happen to be same
Sheree.
people that don't have storylines either,
Sheree.
and people that really don't got nothing going for themselves. So, birds of a feather flock together. Some
Hmm.
people try to flip it and say I'm an eagle, but you ain't really an eagle. You right there with the pigeons. Like, we trying to, like, let's be real.
Hmm.
Like, they're weirdos, dude.
They're weird.
Weird
They
little
are weird.
losers.
They are
There.
weirdos.
Guys, let me acknowledge this name, Angie. Marceau, aka Legs, Hips, and Breasts. So that is your name. You change your name to Legs, Hips, and Breasts. Hilarious. But yeah, I think they all have motives. Sheree and Martell, I believe that they both probably started this off as a storyline, to keep themselves in the limelight.
Sheree should
But
get
from
famous.
what it seems, other than the photo ops or the few appearances that they made together, it doesn't seem like it went anywhere, or it doesn't seem like it's still going on. So
Mm-mm.
I'm wondering if that's still the case
I just
because
never seen a woman over 50 years of age that that move like she a 20-year old. Like she's so, oh my God, she's so empty headed. Like, come on,
yeah.
Ray. This man disrespects women on a regular, and you get on the reunion and say, oh, he's not that guy. That's just him on TV. That's not how he really is. I said,
Hmm.
oh, that sounds like somebody I know.
They
Yeah.
promised her something because they recently
She's,
put her on
Best
that
friends
Times
list.
magazine when it
oh
came to
God,
that fashion thing.
Yeah.
Somebody knows somebody, and that's the
yeah.
reason why she did what she did. Because even then, when she was on the reunion, she was like, "Yeah, we good, we talking." She didn't really want to own up to him either. Like, I don't know. They both,
I don't
who
know.
said it on here? They both weird. Like,
Yeah. Yeah.
Martell and her did not seem genuine at all. Like, I don't know who they
Just
thought
keep
they were
forth.
fooling.
She got a daughter that's a few years
Mhm.
younger than Martell. Come on.
Right. And him, like, I'm
Jesus
not even
Lord.
against, because
Jesus.
sometimes I find women who date men that are younger than them, not too young, too much younger, but they find more success because the men have, I guess they're not, I don't know, just the dynamic works. I don't know what it
If
is,
you're gonna
but
be a
he's just
cougar, come
not
on.
that person. He's
You
just
gon-
not,
yeah, if you're
if he
gonna be a
was old,
cougar,
if he was young,
yeah, do it the right way.
Mhm.
If you're gonna be a cougar, step up and be a real cougar. Don't be don't
I
don't
agree,
don't
girl.
you know what I'm saying? Don't go
Mhm.
don't go bum style. If you're
Yeah.
gonna get with a younger man, make sure he about something. He working, he in school, he doing something in his life. Martell is a she stepped down with Martell. He's a step down for her. And then again,
yeah,
maybe he's a step up. I don't know.
he had stepped down from the Tyrone guy from what it looks like.
Exactly. I think
And
Yeah.
Tyrone's
that
a better
speaks a
man.
lot.
Yeah. Tyrone allegedly was involved in the street pharmaceuticals, I guess I
Mm-hmm.
can say. And But
Jesus,
yeah,
man.
Martell, it's like, ugh. How
It's
could
like
you
it's like
ignore
it's like
what
she
this man
attracts
did?
bad boys. Like it's like Sheree, if a good man came her way, she probably would run. She would run. She don't want to be with a good guy. I don't know what it is. She
You know,
attracts them bit bad boy men. I don't know.
I'm gonna say
No,
something. We have to.
crazy.
I say this. I think that a lot of these people on the cast need to have a moment of reflection, right? And it be either Letitia when she comes to dealing with Destiny, Stormy when it comes to dealing with Destiny and Letitia, Martell, and all of them, right? They really need to have a moment where they need to see and say, you know what? What is it about me that attract this quality of friends and these
Right,
type of people in my circles?
right,
Mhm.
Because it has to be something within you to
right,
be wanting to sit down and commune with people that move the way that they move.
right. It's
And you
something.
have to you can have it where you don't understand, but there have to be a moment where it clicks for them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
why am I around some people that move so dirty? Why am I dealing with people that act the way that they act? Is something wrong with me? Because ain't nobody gonna hang with nobody that does stuff like that if they don't
No,
do it themselves
nope.
or they don't hold those type of qualities.
But then
You
Sheree, she
know,
do lie. Sheree lies. She's kind of a fraud, to be honest. So she
she
kind of
is.
fit in with
Mhm.
them because she's a fraud. I gotta be honest. She's a fraud. She's a nice looking woman. Don't get me wrong, but Sheree's a fraud. She's a fraud and a liar. So maybe that's
Well,
the kind of person she is.
Marcel says she's leveled up. She's a
What?
level up.
Where?
Well, that's what he said. That's how he's been describing Sheree. That Sheree Martell is leveling up with Sheree.
Oh no, he not.
Leveling up from male. You didn't see
Uh,
the episode?
Yeah, I
Where
seen
I
it.
saw
Yeah, I
that.
seen it. No, she not. She
yeah,
ain't.
That's the country bumpkin talking.
and
No,
he,
Cause I
yeah,
can't even.
no,
he,
she a
yeah,
level up from coleslaw, but not Melody.
Yeah.
exactly,
Not Melody.
exactly.
No, sorry, not
Yes,
Melody. Her fashionista business is from Shein and Amazon. Mel
and
sold
now
out in
she's
2 days.
friend.
She sold out her pieces in 2 days.
Sure
Sold
did.
out. So,
Sure did.
So good.
And those
so.
main pieces were sold out within hours. Like,
Mhm. Mhm.
Yes.
Mhm.
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 So
You
yeah,
know, Wanda tried to make something about that too, right? She say, "I don't be pretending I'm doing stuff and having a clothing line, then it ain't there no more, and then they got somebody else." I was like, "She's so bless her heart.
What
That's
is
a
she doing?
collab."
oh
What
my
is she
God,
Poor
doing?
baby, she don't even know what's
collab.
going on. But
What is
why would you understand if you're never gonna have you're never gonna have that type of opportunity yourself?
Well,
You
look,
know what I'm saying?
did you hear
How
her
you really
trying to
gonna
say
understand?
collab? Maritha, and good night to you if you can still hear this. Thank you so much for being on the panel. I just saw your message in the back chat. But did you guys hear Wanda she when was trying to say collaboration? I don't know. She was saying
Ugh,
confectionation. I'm like, what is this lady talking about?
Miss Chit Chat, did she give you a headache?
Yes, she did.
Right?
It was so hard to watch. I only watched 30 minutes of it, and I guess I watched at the right time because that's when she was talking about Marceau and his lying and all of that. But I couldn't do the whole live. I
Mm-mm. I paid
go
attention
back.
who was on that panel though,
I
and I
can't.
made sure I wasn't gonna listen to
I
them
can't
no
deal with
more.
Wanda. I can't deal with Miss Wanda. I
Well,
can't
you
deal
know
with her.
what? And I hate
Mm-mm.
to say this. I'm gonna say it.
I can't deal with her. Nope.
Hmm.
No offense to anyone.
Uh,
Well, I don't know if I can say it because
No, you
I
don't
say
have to
promise
it.
say
myself.
nothing. You know, you know
Okay,
what you know what I'm
y'all peeped.
saying?
Okay, y'all peeped it. It was just, it was a statement. Okay, I'm not gonna say it. I'm not gonna say it.
Why not?
No,
Yeah, because no, I don't want to.
you're
Sometimes
not drama filled. That's why.
Yeah.
right, and I want to keep my stuff geared to people that
Exactly.
Right.
There's
Right.
nothing wrong with that.
Right. No.
yeah, but I
No.
peep something too, being
I'm just
real.
nosy. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
And it was
And that's
one
when I said
comment
that statement,
in
I
particular
wasn't
that
saying
I
that, and you can cut me. You know what I mean? Like 100%. I was not. But
okay, I'm
you
gonna put
see,
it
we
in the
both
back
agree.
chat. Okay, let me put it in the back chat and see if you saw this part. Did you hear that part?
Yes. Yes,
Okay,
ma'am. Yes,
all right.
ma'am.
Yeah, I didn't like that.
Ugh.
Mm.
I don't even. Mm-mm.
Yeah,
I don't
so
like that.
mm-hmm.
Uh-uh. That's
Yeah,
just
that didn't, it didn't sit well with me because, don't insult the people that's watching you as well. So you may think you're being a benefit to Wanda, but you're gonna run off some people that was probably subscribed to you, you know?
That's what it did for me. I looked at them and I made sure I remember who named, how they sounded, and
Mm-hmm,
what they were saying. Because I said I'm not about to entertain this type of energy. Like
mm-hmm,
I also go to the Silver lives as well. I like listening to your lives. I like listening to the Silver.
Mhm.
And she said something that make a lot of sense. I'm not going to spaces and places that I don't, if I don't feel comfortable with it,
Mhm.
then
And
I'm
it's
moving
drama.
around. I'm just
Yeah.
simply not going to entertain that mess because
Mhm.
to me, I really am finding out, and not to draw it out because I know this live is going long, you're probably getting tired
yeah,
and stuff, but
yeah, morning.
um I'm noticing they have a lot of our people. God forgive me, and I only speak as a Black woman who lives in the Black experience, so I can't speak on other communities like that. I
Mm-hmm,
can't speak on other things. I'm talking for us.
Mhm.
There's a problem with some of our people seeing people truly heal and have boundaries and
mm-hmm,
not let people disrespect them. And they have a problem to getting in this gang mentality to try to attack people when they're trying to better themselves.
Mhm.
And then in the same breath, try to
yeah,
coddle somebody who's creating the chaos. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? And a
Pick
lot
me
of
women.
male worshiping
Pick me
and all
women.
that stuff. It's just, to me, it's really disappointing, and I don't
mm-hmm,
like how they try to make it seem like okay, like I said again, when they made that comment about content creators and some of the people be paid, they try to make it seem like people getting paid to do that or
mm-hmm.
someone's being fed this stuff. No, baby. These
No,
are intelligent women who's watching the show, and they
exactly.
say, well, let me do some homework on these kuyons since they think they so much this and that. And they
Exactly.
find this information on their own, or it's other people that's reaching out to them and giving them the receipts. They
Yeah,
don't need nobody to put anything to push them.
at
All I
all.
gotta do is turn on the TV and see you on that station and see what you're doing. And
Mhm.
anybody with a good heart, good morals, and a functioning brain is not really gonna align with the way that those people move.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly.
And they think that for some reason that is something else. No, it's favor, baby.
And I could tell you it's not, even like when Mel were doing her YouTube rounds, basically the only thing you have to do was DM Mel. If she
Yeah,
ride with you, she was going to grant you an interview. And I
yeah,
wanted to make sure at the time, I mean, I was only a couple months in, 2, 3 months or whatever, but I didn't even want people at that time to get that impression that,
hmm,
Mel has all of these YouTubers in her pockets. Like you just said, being real, when you are intelligent, when you can see through BS, then
Mhm.
you're going to speak about that.
That's right.
I think that, it's not like Mel is out here, um, like she said, she was going to fly people in. I knew Mel wasn't going to do that. That was really just to pipe down. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Mhm.
And they
hmm,
just cannot accept that this girl has a strong fan base. She has people that create content that can see what's going on and that's gonna call
exactly.
it out. It's nothing personal. If Tisha was to do something other than what she does, which is hate mail, I promise
Mhm.
you I would make a video about it. I would.
Exactly.
You
I don't
know,
think that they listen to y'all content, honestly, to be real,
well, why
because when
subscribe to
you listen to women with clarity. I listen to y'all and I'm listening, I'm hearing different perspectives that make a lot of sense. It's not like y'all pulling stuff out your behinds
Oh.
and you're not making any sense. Y'all literally are making sense, and it's not coming from a spiteful place. In a
yeah.
way, I like to think that y'all kind of like scientists or something looking at a project and y'all trying to break it down and give an
Break it down and
analysis
dissect.
to it. You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? And you can't be mad because the common thread that happens to be from all these people with original thoughts and original opinions
Hmm.
happen to come to the same conclusion. These are smart
Absolutely.
women,
Yeah.
intelligent women that's lived life. These are
Mhm.
not women that are obsessed with being married for 16 years if the quality of marriage is not
Exactly.
good. So you can't try to,
Exactly.
you need to listen to the people that's making this content. Maybe if they actually sat down and listened, they would realize, oh, these are not some, yeah, we support Melody, but
Mhm.
we're not people that live in a fantasy world and don't have a functioning brain of our own, or need to have somebody else put a battery in our back for
Right.
others to think a certain way.
Mhm.
So it's crazy.
And a teacher don't
Hey,
realize
Ju- let
that's
me let me let Pretty Brown Eyes up real
oh,
quickly, guys.
sorry.
Pretty Brown Eyes.
Hey,
Hey, just making sure it was
Hey,
you.
it's me. I was getting phone calls earlier.
Okay.
And I was
And
like, I'm a,
real quick before you go, just to touch on what you just said, being real, not only do people enjoy, like you said, content creators, they've also been enjoying this panel. So tonight, all in the comments, people are saying this is great. Everybody is giving their own perspectives and all of that. And that's what it should be about. But naturally, if people see you support or and I just go off of what I see. So that's how
Thank
I
you.
base my content.
I was gonna say
And if
that.
they see that and it's for the person that they're hating on, naturally they're gonna have a problem with that. You know?
exactly. Because if he was making videos for Letitia, I bet she wouldn't have nothing to say.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
well, that's why I had came back up here because I was in the bushes, but I'm agreeing with everything that y'all were just saying about the different YouTubers and why a lot of us subscribe to like your channel and
Mm-hmm.
and the different ones, QT, because you are like fair and balanced. Of course, yes, we all like melody, but you still keep the commentary fair.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what the other YouTubers forget is that they started out kind of liking Mel, and then it became like a cool thing for a couple of them to start hating on her.
Mm-hmm.
And they seen that, like the drama and the hype, whether it's hating on her or beefing with another YouTuber that likes her,
Yeah.
it's growing their channel. So I don't
Mhm.
even know how sincere a lot of it is,
Gotcha.
but the best thing to do is just like I didn't catch your name who was just speaking, is you don't have to sit there and listen to that. You can always unfollow them and don't support them that way, and that's your own personal protest. Because I went through a lot of them that I liked at first because of the way that they were reporting for mail, and they kind of seen the gang ups and stuff like that, but now it's like it's cool to join in, and Wanda's the hot ticket right now, so they're going to go jump on her live to gain some of her followers, and
Mm.
and they really don't like Wanda, and if she had any sense, she would know that half of them who are following her and over there boosting her up are the ones who sit and talk about her all day long.
Mm.
Hmm.
She's crazy. So it's just QT, just please stay the way that you are. I
Oh,
love
I
your content.
will.
I
I
only
Mm-hmm.
came
will.
up here to just say that. I love your content. I listen to your videos.
Thank you.
You allow everybody to come and speak their piece
Absolutely.
about, the show, and you don't have a problem if they don't agree with what you're
Mhm.
saying. And I like that. I really do.
And that's the only way I know how to do it, Pretty Brown Eyes. And thank you so much. I promise I have no choice but to remain the same because that's just me. But even if it's an opinion that's different than mine, let's say in my chat, I mean not my chat, in my comment section on the video, I will still leave that comment up as long as it's respectful. You get some
Right.
people that's just buck wild. So, I get it that everybody is not gonna agree, but it's how you say things. And but yeah, I've peeped a lot, but I made a promise and I said this early on that excuse me, I will not go back and forth like with any YouTubers
Oh
or
no.
even mention them personally or because it's the same thing. Who I like, that's who I watch. Like you just said. Who I don't like, I don't click their videos. And I'm damn sure not gonna drop down in their comment section and say, well, you shouldn't have said this or you shouldn't have said that. That's the good thing that we can have a choice. But sometimes you just gotta peep things like something that was peeped and
Yep.
then move forward, move
and
on.
and see what they don't realize, and it's the same thing I don't believe that the cast realize or some of those people in the groups don't realize, is that just because you're spewing the hate and don't like her, it only kind of turns certain people towards her when it looks like, people
Mhm.
always like to root for the underdog. So it's like all of y'all are against this lady, but nobody can pinpoint one single thing that she's done for her, to them,
Exactly.
to justify their hatred towards, or whatever animosity that they would have towards her. Tisha
Mhm.
couldn't tell you one thing that Melody did to her.
Nope.
Um, just out of spite. Destiny couldn't tell you one thing. And
Mm-mm.
Melody gave her all sorts of grace and money
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
time and was a friend to her. And
Yeah.
as soon as she got on her feet, or without a earshot, or around somebody else who she wanted to possibly use,
Mhm.
she
Mhm.
switched up on Melody just that quick, and she didn't
Hmm.
even realize that, you know, when you ask God to protect you from your enemies, you start losing friends, or so-called friends.
Yeah.
And her mom and her walked past that room unbeknownst to them. Now she was in there dogging her out. And it's like, okay, but you don't understand why Mel don't want to talk to you no more.
Exactly.
And
Hmm.
she
And why
told you
you are
exactly why. I'm
considered
not
an
taking
enemy.
you into 22.
That's
You
right.
know, you don't like me. Clearly, you don't like me.
And
Clearly, you said,
everybody does not deserve a second chance, a third chance.
well,
If
not somebody
No.
I
like
cut you
Destiny.
off,
No.
Oh no.
yeah, no,
No.
I'm talking about with Destiny and Tisha. If Mel
Yep.
has chosen to cut them off for whatever reason, I mean, she even has the right, just like us, if a person hasn't done anything to you and you still want to cut them off, that's your right.
Yes,
Exactly.
But
ma'am.
they've
Hmm.
proven that they're
Tisha had more.
yeah, they're proven that they're not friends of hers, and they
Yeah.
still expect her to not call them an enemy. No, you're an enemy.
Yep. The
You're an
enemy.
You
enemy.
you didn't notice how when Mel started getting Tisha out of the house, they had done put restraining orders and called police and did all of this
Mhm.
stuff
Yep.
behind the scenes. This was before social media was big. And Tisha shows up to Mel's event. She didn't show up to Mel's event to support her. She showed
No.
up to Mel's event to rub elbows and make contacts
That,
with those women
that's it.
at that
That's
Exactly.
event.
all.
Hmm. Yep.
She
That's
she
it.
they,
That's
they
all.
only wanted Mel just so that they can use her for her contacts and for
Right.
whatever knowledge that she would have. Notice how Tisha copied everything Melody did, but as soon as Melody cut her off, mommy business is gone. She's back
Right?
in the house, back in the basement, and there's no more talk about her really running the business other than whatever they're saying right now, which is
Right.
just a lie to kind of change up the image.
Yes, definitely a lie.
So
Because you
if
can't
I'm
see in one episode she's a stay-at-home mom and she's going to pick up the kids and she's doing this and doing that. And then on the other hand, she's running this multi-million dollar business. It just
All
doesn't.
she do is sign her name on the credit app,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
and that's pretty much it. And Marceau is doing everything, and he was just trying to explain with all of that word salad that basically you just put y'all in $5 million worth of debt. I think he's trying to do that to cushion the blow. Yes, he heard Mel's making money. Yes, he heard Dion's making money off of YouTube and social media. But
Mm-hmm.
Marceau is trying to cushion the blow from what's about to come down in
The
that
pipeline.
paperwork in those courts.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know what, Mel, not to keep y'all long, but y'all know in the Bible story, like what was his name? Joseph the Dreamer. Didn't his brothers like sell him to slavery and they were so jealous of him? Wasn't
Hmm.
it Joseph the Dreamer that they did that to? Like they sold him into slavery. He went to Egypt and then he finally came across the Pharaoh. And then the Pharaoh needed someone to decipher his dreams, and nobody that was on his court could do it.
Do
But
it.
Joseph was the one who could it's amazing how some people thought selling him together into slavery was going to take him off his course, but they were actually directing him in the right path for him to be the
Preach.
greatness that he was meant to be. And I feel like that's the same thing that's going on with Melody, that they're trying to, they think what they're doing is tearing Melody down when all they're doing is providing a stronger and bigger foundation for her to build upon. And they're
Mhm.
going to be needing her the same way they needed her before, but they're not going to have the same grace they had prior because with Letitia, like Miss Chicha said, Letitia had multiple opportunities to have her friendship with Melody rekindled. Melody is a very like was a forgiving person, but to this point, she realized I can't keep doing this with these people. They're
Mhm.
not my friends, no matter what. When we move a certain way, um, that can either draw us to certain people and it can also make us see people in a certain light that we may see ourselves, right? So
Mhm.
when you are a person that is a kind-hearted person, a loving person, a forgiving person, we have a tendency to extend grace to those who don't deserve grace at all. And I feel like Melody was giving these people chances, thinking that maybe they just spoke out of anger or out of emotion. And then now she's at this point in her life where she's realizing, no, this is who these people are. This is how they truly feel. And they're not changing their behavior and they won't change their behavior. And if they do slightly change it, it's only so they can be able to get so close to me to be able to hurt me again. So she
Right.
has to protect herself, because we can't say Melody's been mean to her. How many times that she's been using the 20 woman thing and all that stuff? And here
Yeah.
she was laughing at Melody and all this other stuff. It's just, I
Yeah.
don't know. It's just, I like the show. I don't,
But
do y'all think it's going to be another season though?
of
After
course.
six,
But
they're
Well,
but
I
think
don't
filming.
think
about
after six.
yeah.
think
Yeah,
about this.
they're filming now.
Melody is all of their covering.
Yeah,
Once
pretty much.
she details from each and every person, none of them have done any better than they did when she stopped being around them. Martell has is in the same spot, if not worse.
Yeah,
Tisha and Marceau are worse.
yeah.
I can't really speak on Kimmy's situation, but from what I was hearing about, Maurice, well, she's kind of in a worse position, and nothing to do with the sickness, but she's not even a nurse anymore. And she wasn't just a nurse, she was the head of nursing in her
Heck
hospital.
yeah. High position.
And Maurice was doing credit repair, and now all of those subsequent businesses are closed down for a new endeavor that's based on Kimmy's back. So it's like, okay, yeah, y'all trying to push Melody off the show. But
Mhm.
when you push her off the show, you're pushing your covering away.
Yep.
Pretty
And I
much.
don't really think that and that goes for Carlos too, because even when he was trying to push her away and trying to uplift the Scots with the Bessemer Hillbillies and everybody,
Didn't work out.
once Kiki didn't spill that tea, everybody's attention went away again until the fight, and then that was only because Melody and Martell were joining together.
Yeah.
So she was his covering also.
Before I leave, because I'm about to drop down,
Yeah.
people need to think about this. That show was because of Melody. I don't care
Mhm.
what Carlos said. He might have said the concept, and I added other people on ensemble cast because this would have got the. But he said himself when he met Melody, he knew something about her was different.
Mhm.
If Tisha would have did the same thing, it wouldn't have been the same result. There would be no show. If Stormy would have did the same thing, there wouldn't have been the same thing. If Destiny did the same thing, that's why Destiny with her copying behind, she always wants to say things that Melody says and she
Mhm.
takes it and try to add it to her storyline. She's a big time liar. It's kind of scary. But these people don't understand. You're literally here because of the woman that you're trying to tear down.
Mhm.
The reason why you have another season, let's take it back to the first one, is they said if it hadn't been for Melody sitting down at that table asking that question and opening that conversation, we wouldn't have had a second season.
That's
Don't
right.
play and act like that woman didn't do and didn't bring, because of her realness and her transparency, the same thing that makes people attracted to her. her and listens to her and gravitates to her and gives her favor is the same reason why you get a paycheck every week.
So
And the
true.
same reason why people are even knowing who you are and buying your products. The same reason why, Stormy, you're trying to get on a show, right? To get notoriety just like her.
Mhm.
But if you really that chick, and if she listening to this, I really want you to get off of this cast, turn around and try to make your own show.
That's right.
And try to do it on your own platform since you that chick. You
She
don't
got the
need
money.
nobody else. You don't need
She got
nobody
the
else
money.
platform.
That's right. You said it all right there, being real. We wouldn't know of a Love and Marriage Huntsville, no matter what Carlos did to make it different or put his little flair in there. Huntsville wasn't on the map. He said it,
No.
Mel said it. So if he hadn't have had a meeting with Mel, he wouldn't have had a show in Huntsville of all places. So that's what I don't like, that they won't give this girl her credit,
Credit.
number one. And I put that in my video earlier today. Tisha's
Mm-hmm.
whole family is eating off of Love and Marriage Huntsville, from her mama, cousin Bernard, her husband,
Yes,
brother-in-law,
ma'am.
everybody. And for
Run
them
it. Tell
to
it.
try to sit back and act like, oh no, it's not because of her, or we said thank you, but without us, the show wouldn't be this. That's not true. Like Marceau last week, trying to act like the high ratings from the Destin episode had nothing to do with Mel. It had everything to do with Mel and Martell, which is why we were given a second season, Mel and Martell. So that's what I
Exactly.
don't like. But like you guys said, she's there covering. And until they recognize that, I'm not wishing bad luck on them. But from what we can see, they're not having any good luck. From Destiny's business closed down, Marceau allegedly facing these lawsuits and all of that. So when you do wrong, wrong is gonna follow you.
Yep.
That's
They're
just
not
the
having any type of
100%.
good success.
that's just it. But I do want to thank you guys. I am
Thank
at
you.
the hour, 30-minute mark. Gotta get up and start work at 5 a.m.
Good night.
So
Oh, sorry.
we held these numbers strong. Right now it's 6:02. So I want to thank everyone for watching. Over 600, 550 steady. If you guys can please hit that like button on your way out if you haven't. Aunt Ann, you are a fool, not Mr. Magoo. Now you was talking about Peebo Bryson earlier this week. You know I love
Uh-uh.
you. Pretty brown eyes, simply beautiful,
Good night.
beautiful,
Thank you for having me
anonymous.
up. And good night.
Yes,
Good
Bye,
night,
everyone who was
Simply.
Tito.
on the
Hey,
panel.
baby. All right.
Everyone
Good
who was
night,
on
y'all.
the panel, I thank you, ladies, so much. This was great. It really, really was. And for those that were in the chat, Tang, Jolanda, Melody McFadden, Dorian, everyone, Pamela, everyone, Linda Gamble, hello. Thank you guys so much for joining me. And I'll see you guys in a couple days for another live. Hope you all have a good night. And you guys know, as I leave, I try to say hello on my way out to people that I missed since we were talking. So I'm definitely going to do that. Let me see if I got a little music so I can acknowledge a few more people. I saw when Tay Talks was in here. Thank you so much for joining me. And let me get some music going, guys, on our way out. If I can find it. Oh, goodness. Well, let me scroll up anyway, see if I could see a couple more people. 1 minute, guys. I think this is it. Yeah. Is this it? Oh. All right. Let me turn my volume up. What's going on? I was trying to play some party music, guys. There we go. All right, so I'm going to scroll up and say goodbye. Tyra Daniels. If you're still here, thank you so much for joining me. One of my day ones, Miss J, definitely one of my day ones. They did that. Thank you so much for your comments. You had some very, very good comments. Candy, Kevin Moore, Jolanda Mills, Uppity, Beautiful Tay, Angie, Marceau, aka Legs, Hips, and Breasts. Don't forget the body yachty. Donna B, thank you for joining me. Miss Ann, Christine Lambert, everyone. Megan, Miss B. Miss B, thank you so much for joining me. To those, I'm sounding like Wanda and Tisha, not pronouncing my THs. To those that sent me a super chat, super stickers, I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. All right, I'm trying to get everybody. Tiger Barksdale, thank you for joining me. Carolyn Mentor, thank you. I saw all of your comments as well. Great comments, chat. This was a really, really good live. It really was. Lisa Girl 1100, Marsha Roser, Patricia T, ADR, Tiana Davis. All right, guys. I know I missed a lot of you guys, and I apologize in advance. I wish there was a way for me to talk on the panel and see the comments and acknowledge everyone as you come in. Monica McCoy, Manice, Miss Lily. All right, guys, I'm at the top. That's about all. They're going to let me see. All right, guys, have a good night. Ann is a trip. Black Titanic. Hello, we are ending the live. I wish you would have joined us a little early, but thank you. This is my first time seeing you in the comment section, or in the chat. I'm sorry. So if I missed you, I'm sorry, but thank you, Black Titanic, for stopping by. Thank you, Hannah Grace. I was waiting for you to come up, but I know I will see you next time. Okay, guys, I was still scanning just to see. Shelly M. Lynn, Paulette, Demetra Carey. I'm going to put your comment up and close it out. Melody is an amazing, smart woman with a profound love for God. She has been done wrong by Martell and his gang, and Carlos is threatened by Melody being an executive producer. He's not protecting her. Good night, Deep Truth. Okay, guys. Good night. Good night. Chat with you guys soon. Bye. Thank God for mom and dad for sticking to the gap like we don't know. night, Anonymous. Okay, guys, I'm out of here for real. Chat with you guys tomorrow. I was going to drop a video tonight, but I think that will be in the morning. So have a good night, everybody. Every time I try to end, my song is at the part that I like. It's crazy. All right, I'm gone. Good night, cuties. Good night, good night, good night.